Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
Hey, we're all in the small box this time.
All right.
That's what I'm
I was
saying.
gonna say which one.
I chose a
Big
small
box.
circle though, so I'm a,
Facts.
This one?
They're all the
That
same.
one?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
That one. The ace up your sleeve, the hip hop enthusiast. You already know how it goes down. I'm always here. Yeah. So hit that like button. Hit that like button
you don't
for
gotta
all the
yeah.
dads.
Nah,
and all
we're
the
not
moms
gambling. We're
out
not
there.
doing that on YouTube. We don't want to get hit with the RICO.
Facts.
Yeah.
Nah. You can't pay for it yet. Honestly,
Just hit
Oh,
that
man.
like
don't
button.
speak that.
Trust.
Just hit that
Every
like
like
button. We
counts.
out here.
Yes.
Let's go.
Excuse my kids. My bad.
Appreciate you for having me. You already know the support is free, like he said. Like, comment, share, subscribe to all of us. We got some talented people in here, and I appreciate you having me.
Hit that like.
I have my eyes on the chat too, so y'all better hit that like.
We're watching.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Hey.
What up, y'all? What's poppin'?
Hey.
Appreciate you, Flex. Thanks for having me, as always.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yo.
The
Que lo
OG.
que? It's, not the OG. Flex is the OG, but yeah. Yeah.
Right?
They're unking you, bro.
You
They're unking you,
like,
man.
I've known you since I was 15. You an OG.
Nah, how's it going, y'all? Y'all better hit that like button. All right, King Hammer's there. I'm here too. I'm one of the mods here. I also do reactions on my own channel. You guys can go ahead and check out J Tom Reactions. Support is free. Ya tú sabes.
Yes, sir.
Always remember, support is free.
Love to see it.
It don't matter what it is.
I like that. Indeed, I do. Goddamn right. Thank you. That was a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much, Flex. But yes, my name is Aya, and not. I know you tried, but you do it very well. So I'm like, thank you. That was a beautiful introduction. And so, as he mentioned, my name is Aya, and I'm this generation's victory, and I'm gonna lead y'all to victory. So I hope you take that to
Hey.
heart. But I'm really excited to be a part of this. And like I said, I've known Flex since I was young. Like he's really like my big brother. So y'all need to listen to him. Like he's really the one. Don't touch sign now. Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
All right. As the consumers, I'm throwing my card down. Don't worry, I'll play it later. So, as the consumer, we are here to measure the impact of the music that hits the market. And when it comes down to the numbers and all that, those are just statements of placement, is what I'll say. You can place the music wherever you want, but is it being played in the club? Is it being played in the house? Is it being played in the car? Is it in your headphones? We as the consumer judge where these songs go and the impact of how hard it hits or doesn't hit the culture. So at the end of the day, with how things are moving right now, um, I really wish that they would bring back CD stores. I really wish that they would, not focus too much on the streaming numbers and how much the dollar amount to a stream actually costs. Go buy the album. Go buy the album
Hmm.
if it's that good. Don't make music so accessible. See, if it's so cherished the way that we cherish it, then we should be able to go out and go buy these vinyls, go buy these CDs, and make sure that the artist is being compensated correctly because we appreciate and want to support that specific artist or you know however many that there may be. Personally, with the way that hip hop is going, um, it's not like there's a lot of contenders against Kendrick, against Clips, against JID, against Tyler, against
Hmm.
Nas, against honestly, I mean, with all the people that were running the agenda people, which they know who they are, and I think that we all as a collective know who they are. Their music has been whack. It's been hot dog water. It's been pure butt, if I may add. Um, It's only because their characters have now been exposed, and I'll be arguing this until the day I pass. Your character validates your music. If you're not right within, how
Mhm.
am I supposed to support you? I'll
No
end on that.
facts. No, absolutely. Thank you. I just needed to co-sign that real quick. Yes.
I'll play that card, and my turn is done.
That's real.
No, you used your term very wisely.
That's real. Yeah, no, just to come off of that, I think too, the consumers, given what has happened in the last few years, there's been a lot of cons, but there's also been some pros. I think a lot of things that were going on behind the scenes that I think, we all probably knew before things happened in 2024 and 2025 are now kind of on the forefront. And the consumers now know that the labels and, the other companies and the people behind that are pushing things, and they, I guess, in a way, make it look like they have the power, but now that the consumers kind of have the knowledge that we are the ones that give them the money, we're the ones that put the money in their pockets because they choose the artists and we listen to them. Now the consumers
Hmm.
feel kind of know, or in that weird space that, hey, we kind of have the power, and now we can dictate what we want in a more positive vibrational way. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that's wishful thinking to say in mass it can happen overnight, but I think right now the consumers definitely need to get picky again and
Oh,
really say,
absolutely.
like, I want to listen to this, and you can't just give us this slop. You can't just feed us the garbage like you used to before. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I think we just got to realize the power we have, and we pay them, right? And without us, they're not getting no money, right? So we got to be picky about what we want going forward.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, obviously, like I consume music as well, and I'm obviously a big hip hop fan. But then I'm also an artist, so
Mhm.
because of that, I kind of see it from all angles. And I think, yeah, I think I like to be optimistic. So I'll say, like, I feel like it is a good opportunity in terms of like where we're at currently. Like there's a lot of opportunity for us to really like shift the direction in the way we want it to go, especially within the sphere of hip hop. But we could even extend that to black music overall. But even if we're going to talk about hip hop specifically, I think that this is a moment in time for us to really like pay attention to like what we consume and how we consume, because I think we got so used to relying on the dominant like music industry to
Hmm.
dictate to us what is good, what is worth listening to.
Yep.
In reality, a lot of that stuff, even when it's good, sometimes a lot of that stuff just has like a lot of money behind it, right? So I
Hmm.
think ultimately we have to decide like, okay, quality music doesn't just come from a lot of money behind it. Quality music is just quality music, right? If you
Hmm.
enjoy music.
Facts.
And people need to stay away
Exactly.
from this attitude of like, oh, because this is popping now I have to pay attention to it. No, you make it
Hmm.
poppin' by listening to it, by paying attention to it, by reposting it every time your favorite artist chooses to, release a song that you like. Like you're part of that. Don't sit back and wait for, your artist to find the best promoter and whatever. They should still be doing that. Don't get me wrong, but you're also part of that. And we're also part of that as a whole. So
Hmm.
anyways, that's the point I'm going to make for now, but yeah.
Smart, smart.
Ate that up.
Okay, so a couple years ago, I made the decision to stop listening to the radio. It was mainly because of this reason, the reason of people, um, may not people, but the industry force feeding us, the industry basically telling us what we need to listen to for the whole entire day on repeat. I made the decision because YouTube Music was out, because Spotify was out, because all these different um, apps were giving me the opportunity to choose what I wanted to listen to. And I made the decision to just always have my radio muted whenever I'm driving. So whenever I see these conversations of what is it that the consumer needs to do, the consumer being us, we need to basically choose the artists that we want to listen to. We need to go and give the money to the artist or give the plays to the artist that we want to support. And that's basically, in 2025, that's what happened. In 2025, the shift happened, and people are realizing, hey, why is the music from 2024 still being played on the radio and no new music is being played? Why isn't why am I not getting new music from X, Y, and Z? Why am I not getting that? And
Mm-hmm.
that's basically the main reason um why we are having this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
um so my main point is we have the choice to choose the artist that we want to listen to and support, and basically that's what consumerism pretty much is, and that's a direction where it's going now in the shift in
Mm-hmm.
2026. And that's where that's where I ended.
Beautiful. Okay, before I take it away, check your text messages. There's a audio feedback. Can you just look into that real quick?
I think it's more so that like when people talk, then there's an echo. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just see if you can fix that. If you can, I'll just continue, but take your time. Just say that, but as an example to what a lot of you guys were saying, Billboard was one of those platforms that I mostly saw as like, they just report the performance of particular arts, like artists. But more importantly, I honestly saw it as like a reflective of the collective mind. As in this society, like, what are we feeling as a whole? Because back in the day, most albums had a theme or a storyline that we could use to relate to our immediate surroundings, regardless of where you are in the world. Like, I remember before I came to Canada, my brother loved 50 Cent, so he was always listening to him. Even when we came to Canada, he was still able to relate to him despite like the culture being a little bit different. So that's what I've always loved about music and the way that it can tell stories that can reach further than just where you're at. But obviously, like we're now finding out that we may have been getting manipulated this whole time by, the art form that we often run to when we need to. Like music heals in certain ways that I think we should be making sure that we're putting out the right type of music. But we're finding out that Billboard has been trying to dictate how the world should feel because they're the ones that also pay out the artists, not Spotify. So that was very interesting to find out. So thank you so much, Flex, for putting me on. But in finding that out and realizing that, it's kind of painted a bigger picture for me where, in addition to the introduction of streaming, they now have better control on who they let put out that message. And as we saw for nearly the last decade, Drake has been their cash cow. But let's be honest, what lasting message has he left besides the fact that quote unquote life is good? Meanwhile, the world has been up in flames the entire time. So when we think of it like this, we have to realize that we're the ones who hold the power now that we're aware of what's going on. So moving forward, it's also your decision as a music lover to remain complicit to not only the corruption of the game that we've loved for so long, but also to the impact that these charts and all these things in streaming have on society as a whole. If you're okay with watching it crumble, then proceed as you are. But if you're not, like what I would actually advise you, like how on social media there's like little three little dots you can click not interested. Start utilizing that. I cannot stress that enough. Start utilizing that, because when you click not interested, you're also telling like you're telling the algorithm that this is not anything you want to see, and it's not anything that you want like people who interact with you to get pushed onto. Because sometimes I see things that other people are liking on my algorithm and I'm like, I don't like that, so I'll just say not interested. So when you do that, you also kind of sit in your power. And the reason why I say this is because we are the consumers, but we're a different type of consumer. We're the type of consumer where we determine our actual value. So when you think of it like that and you just determine your value, we need to show them that because we value music so much, we won't accept garbage anymore, first of all. And in this digital age, even a dislike is considered engagement for a lot of these platforms. So we need to cut off the algorithm from even pushing the content that's destroying the game we love. Otherwise, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like I won't even engage with you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you can't complain and then not do anything about it. Like that's the point I'm trying to say.
She cooked that. Jesus.
Fire.
Somebody
Y'all saw the
asked me
seasoning?
what I
The
had
seasoning?
cooking.
Oh,
Somebody asked me what I had cooking. I told you I've been putting work.
She's ready.
Man, she's over there chefing.
Oh, I'm actually about to put y'all onto some like actual Toronto artists that I've been working with for the last few years. So I really hope y'all listen to them. I'll also put them in like Discord chat. But oh my god, I'm about to put y'all on to like Toronto music.
The real ones. Yes.
The real one. But proceed flex. On to the next question. hmm Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. Mhm.
Why?
Wait, I can you explain the ANR acronym? I don't think I've heard that before. Okay,
I'm
I'll
ready.
keep that in mind.
I'm ready for that one. Can I please? Can I go? All
Let
right.
him go.
AI music is a damn sham. All right. I don't want to hear nothing about no AI music. All right. Allen Iverson ain't produced this. All right. Y'all need to leave that alone because it is not authentic music. It is not genuine music. You can have that as elevator music. You can keep it over there. You can put it in your office. You can put it on the call center hold call button. I don't care. Don't be bringing that into the mainstream, into the damn radio. Y'all getting me mad. Listen,
I'm gonna need
AI
y'all to put
music
some poetry
is
snaps in the
not
chat for me because
supposed
he's
to,
spitting.
especially hip hop AI music. No, don't you dare bring that
Mm-hmm.
garbage my way. Don't you bring that
Mm-hmm.
whack automated ABC rapping. No, none of that. I don't want that. I don't need that. That is not. It is artificial intelligence. It is not actual intelligence. They're
Nope.
two
Yes.
different AIs. Y'all need to cut that
Thank
out. And if you
you.
support it,
Dude
if
said
you
ABC
dare,
123 head
yeah,
ass.
no. I don't want to hear AI music. I don't. I want to hear actual intelligent
Yeah.
music,
That's
not
facts.
artificial.
And I want to add to that. If you're using AI for anything besides just like a simple tool, like as you said, like for hold music or something like that, or maybe like a quick little question, like, and I'm not talking about like you're asking it multiple questions. Like let's say you just need to make a meal plan or something, getting a rough template and then using your actual brain to like figure out based on your needs what type of meal plan you need. That's fine because I'm so sorry. Fresh water is about to be gone within the next 3 to 4 years if y'all don't stop using AI. I'm actually getting so mad. So I don't even
Oh,
care.
we're cooked. We're so cooked. And they're implementing it into everything. That's
Everything.
worse.
Bro,
And why are all
Everything.
the AI or the AI
off
artists?
on
Why are they
some
all
platforms.
black? Why are they all
Okay,
black?
soon we're gonna have
That's a
AI
good
water.
First of
question.
all, why are they all black is a
AI
whole different
water.
conversation that I'll have with you later.
I was gonna say you already know.
You already know. You already know.
Devious, man.
We the
hmm
blueprints. That's why they all black.
Crazy.
hmm
Mm.
So even the fake black ones are actually more popular. That's
Exactly. Because they'll never
hmm
want us as like our most authentic selves. They will always want a caricature that they can control.
it's it's deep.
hmm
And
Like
that's
exactly.
racist
I like I
too,
said, the
right?
caricature. They
Because
want the
someone
caricature.
programmed
They
that.
don't want us.
That's crazy. That's what I'm
But
saying.
think
Isn't
about
that
it. Think
You
racist?
gotta
about
put
it
in like
You
though.
fake
have
news
the
channels,
AI
moms.
study. You have the AI study,
Oh no. Oh,
and yeah,
oh Lord.
Mhm.
This is
that's
so
what happens.
But that's the thing. If you think about the history, especially of Black Americans in particular, in the context of like North America, like if their music was already being stolen by white artists, like you think of Elvis, you think of it's an infinite list. I can't
The
even go
robbery
down.
of Macklemore and Good Kid, Mad
Macklemore,
City.
First
exactly.
of all,
That was
don't bring up
crazy.
that man's name. I mourn
That
him
was
every
crazy. But
single
if you
day.
Nah, I'm
think of
ready.
that,
I mourn
it's
that man
not
every day.
it's not
Let me play.
surprising that now that there's just a new
Shout
technology
out to
that can
Crew in the
emulate it
chat.
or
Gang, gang.
What
attempts
up,
to
crew?
emulate it, that they're just gonna use that basically.
No, you're right. So you're pretty much saying that the AI was inevitably gonna take up from its masters
Oh yeah. Oh
behaviors.
yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, y'all
Best way
haven't
to
seen
put it.
Terminator? Y'all haven't seen iRobot?
Like
Skynet,
I don't know why
you
Been
people
know.
are
telling
not
us.
scared enough
Like
of like just technology
Listen,
getting a little too smart.
We're
like
not
the
too far
movies
off from
are
that
out
too.
there. The
we've
movies
been
are out there
warned.
and they say, you know what? Hold my purse, hold my beer. Let's make something even worse. Let's make it into real life.
Oh my
Listen,
god, why
Also,
we in this
Flex.
timeline?
Apparently, they still can't hear you,
How they,
in
how they
the
not can hear
they
chat.
me?
programmed ghetto because of how much they were exposed to it.
Hmm.
Our lifestyle has been publicized for years, decades.
Because
And
we've
the
been
thing
a
is that
minstrel
it
show
is
in
now,
our own way.
huh?
That's true
We've
too.
become like a minstrel show in our own way because like money's become like the motivator for a lot of things. That's why you have coons, bro. Like they are like we've been under the microscope of our oppressors. We've been under their lens for so long. I kind of talked about this in my recent video under like my moments in media and music segment, but it's just the fact that we have allowed our oppressors to be quote unquote our friend because they're paying us a lot better than they may have been in the past, so to speak. And as a result of that, like we've lost boundaries like with just our culture,
Hmm.
meaning we have allowed people to be able to say things about our women or about our culture when they had no right to say anything. So that's why we need to become gatekeepers, like proper gatekeepers, that they realize like we're not taking that anymore, but more importantly, we're going to keep our gifts and our talents to ourselves. We're no longer going to be a show for you. We're going to harness our skills, do our own thing, and enjoy our own blessings. But you guys can just really watch from the gate.
No facts. That's for real.
I hope y'all didn't see the death stare I just gave my daughter. Um,
Listen, sometimes you don't gotta say much.
nah, nah. But no, I totally get that. My biggest thing about
Mhm.
hip hop is the fact that it's the gift that keeps on giving, but we're starting to pour from an empty glass
Oh my God,
because
thank you.
because it shouldn't be up to us to be like, yo, when is Kendrick dropping, man? We
Yep.
need that body for body. Or when is Clips dropping again? We need
Yep.
another So Be It. Or,
Mhm.
it's slim pickings as to when it comes down to quality
Yeah.
music, because everybody that we've been listening to throughout the turn up era, and I call
Mhm.
it the turn up era because I think y'all know what we were doing the entire time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of
I wasn't
filling
turning
up
up.
our cups, we were emptying them. And now that we're
Mhm.
starting to pour up, we're like, wait a minute, there ain't no fuel. There's
Yeah.
nothing to put back into this cup except for
Mhm.
X amount of people. Like
Yep.
I'm hopeful that J. Cole comes in and does his thing, because of
Mhm.
course I definitely was solid with J. Cole being a contender against
Yeah.
Kendrick. Drake, I don't know. But
No,
I'm with you there.
absolutely. I
against
was the
Kendrick,
one
that
you
would have
found
been
out.
great. But when it comes down to
Who that?
that real deal, what am I trying to say, that authentic, realistic,
Mhm.
and genuine kind of music, it was definitely him, Kendrick,
Mhm.
and a lot of rappers that actually rap that are
Yep.
keeping it alive. But
Mhm.
for the turn up era, we've been selling our souls for the last like
Literally.
15 years. I stopped listening to real to the mainstream
Mhm.
hip hop since 2015. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until
Yep.
2022 till I came back and was like, man, I miss this.
Mhm.
I
Oh, I
feel you.
really want to add to what you're saying because I really do agree. Like, I even stopped listening to music like I would say hip hop, and even I still listen to a little bit of R&B, but that same timeline was when I kind of just stopped like looking to hip hop because everything was just oversaturated and not with anything that I really wanted to hear because again, I love a storyline. The music was not really giving me that. But even though I do agree, I think what helped was the fact that yes, we were oversaturated, but even though we were oversaturated with like garbage as far as I'm concerned, it taught us what I want to be able to teach the rest of the world, which is delayed gratification. us having to wait for Kendrick to drop makes us appreciate everything that he drops so much more. And because him, and honestly, when we get to the question about what artists can learn about, like, music and all these little things, this is what I'm going to tell y'all about the artists that I'm working with. And they are the ones that I know have perfected delayed gratification. Because every time I hear their music, I'm like, the world needs to freaking hear this because it's timeless. No matter when I'm listening to their songs, I either am reflecting in a nostalgic way or I'm feeling motivated because I'm like, no, this is what I want my life to be like. And that's what I feel like music should be when it comes to motivation. But that's where I'm like, we need that level of delayed gratification where, yes, it might take us long to hear from our favorite artists, but you know that they spent that entire time putting belt to ass on every single thing that they're doing. So while they're doing that and then drop it, use that time to listen to that song to see what message they're trying to put out and then use that as your motivation, or use it to reflect on a time that you needed that growth or that motivation and work from that. Jay Tommy, if you want to say something, go ahead.
This is why I'm not rushing
Mm-hmm.
Baby Keem.
Yep.
This is why I don't rush Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I don't rush J. Cole. As much as, I didn't like the apology, I'm still a fan.
I agree.
Honestly,
Don't
yeah.
get me started, man.
Yeah, this is why I don't.
Y'all saw what
This
I
is
was saying in
why,
the
We
chat
just
today.
talked about this yesterday. Facts.
and this is why I don't rush artists like Joel Ortiz, Crooked Eye, um, was basically all the artists from Slaughterhouse minus Joe Budden. Um, um,
Mood music,
this is
bro.
why, yeah, this is why I don't, yeah, Joker.
Crazy.
This is why I don't rush my favorite artists, and this is why I haven't rushed Chameleonaire.
Mm,
You know, even though he said he was retiring, he still promised me an album
mm.
over 20 years ago. I'm
That's
still waiting.
Nah, you gotta let that go. You
Uh,
gotta let that go, bro.
Let's not drop it.
I'm just saying.
I'm glad.
No, I'm just saying. I don't. It's delayed gratification. Whenever
Look.
they show up,
Yeah.
you know that they're gonna show you something.
Mm-hmm.
You know that they're
Something.
gonna give you the best that they have. It's
Because
not
they've
just
worked with that for a while. And
ex-
yeah.
I need to add to this,
exactly.
like, because just speaking from an artist standpoint, that's something
Mm-hmm.
that like has been a major issue, like even if we're just talking about hip hop specifically, in hip hop
Yeah.
for a while now, with just too much music. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my
Even
God.
rappers that I
Literally.
like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I remember seeing a video of I forget who it was. I think it was someone in Griselda
Yeah.
talking about how oh, I put out this much amount of albums in the past like 6 months or whatever. And to me, honestly, I'm like, I like what they do, but I'm like, but I haven't heard of any of those because that's too many albums. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
emphasis on too many albums. Like sometimes it's a bit too much. Like slow down.
yeah, like even from artists that I love, it's like it's just too much content. And perfect example is of the opposite is like even D'Angelo, who just passed away in 2025. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Oh
look at
my
his
God.
discog,
R.I.P.
like the first few albums, maybe it's like, I don't know, 3-4 years in between Brown Sugar and Voodoo. And then between
Mm-hmm.
Voodoo and Black Messiah, I think it's like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I loved Black Messiah. Like, I love Voodoo because he was a true artist. He was like, this is my craft. I'm not just going to release music because I have music that I've made. I'm going to release music
Mm-hmm.
because it means something for me
Yeah.
to release music. So I think
Yeah.
as fans of music and as consumers, we should also start pressuring our artists to be like, yo, like, this is too much sometimes. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like, it's too
Bully them
much.
into a corner. Tell them to like nice it for a bit.
Yeah.
Settle
Because
down.
no matter how you spin it, the quality will degrade. Even if they're still at a
Yes.
relatively good level, it doesn't matter who you are. The quality is going to go down if you're making that much and releasing that much. But
No,
that's my
absolutely. No, that
All right,
beautifully said.
so
And also, you freaking triggered me because I fell to my knees when D'Angelo passed, bro.
R.I.P.
Oh, fell to
All right.
my
God
knees.
rest the dead for real, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, for
So
real.
at this point where the conversation's going, we can move on to the
Mhm.
shift, because that's a big role that's playing currently right now, and that's literally the reason
Mhm.
why we're here. So for the people that don't know, in 2024 there was a rap battle that shook planet Earth with Kendrick and Drake. Uh,
Never heard of them.
right? Like, who are these
I've never
dudes?
heard of one.
You know, that's crazy. Anyway, so
Who are they?
one of them won,
Right? Who's he?
and then since that individual won, the whole like landscape that we pretty much just talked about is currently shifting. Right?
Mhm.
Everything that we knew is going to change. Like what I believe it was King Hammer that brought up turn up music. One thing about
Mhm.
the music eras, like the music history that I've noticed is that music goes through a change like every 10 years, like every decade.
Yeah.
There's always a new sound. We've had, first of all, from when we got to 2010, that was like party era. And then it evolved into turn up era because that's when we had like the Sheck Wests, we had the Chief Keefs, and everything was being destroyed. Um, but just from that moment, how we've been in this for so long, like we're coming into 2026 now, and we're still technically in it because the shift hasn't completed yet. The fact that we are stuck and we don't know where to go is the biggest problem, but at the same time, that's the greatest opportunity to either make major changes or to go through a reset, right? So when you sit here and think about it, when you go back and you look at these artists that's been dropping, the Jids, Chance the Rapper. First of all, Chance the Rapper had a comeback. He was gone. Chance the Rapper was out of here. And then he just came back with a project that shook the world again. How do you do that? Because he went back to the basics. And he started rapping. The bars mattered. The technicality behind rapping matters. And if artists can't capture that, that's a problem. So at this point, I want to pose a question to everybody. Like, what does everybody think about the shift that's going on in music right now? Like, I want to hear everybody's thoughts. Starting with King Hammer.
I've been cooking up something devious over here. I don't know if y'all know, but think about it like this: the shift of rap it's like rap and hip hop have always been shifting, and no matter what, the mountains never move, but the winds stay blowing. What I mean by that is the people who can stand the test of time stay, and the people that can't go. As of right now, we need to pick out 4 people who are the Mount Rushmore of this change of time. Now, for those 4 people, I got Kendrick leading the charge,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, I also judge people on suits of the cards. So, the person that is the king of the club, Future. If Future if Future drops anything right now, I guarantee you, we all gonna listen. We're all gonna hear it out. We're all gonna make sure that he's still going because he can stand the test of time. Ever since Dirty Sprite 2, life ain't been the same. So now the flashy, the cool dude that's over there making it happen, or the cool dudes that's sitting there making it happen and telling us how good life is from how bad it was, is gonna be the Clips. Clips is going to sit here and lead that charge. They're diamonds. They got it on there, and they tell you how they earned it. Now, then we got the Heart. Right now, it's out of 2 people for me. It's out of Chance or Tyler. With the consistency, with the amount of love that he's been getting, and the amount of, no pun intended, but pride that he's been able to manifest within a lot of people. Boom, Ace of Heart. But those are my 4 pillars. But there are people that I can mention. Dochi.
Mm, mm, mm. I hope
Let
you
me
can hear
let
my
me
poetry
sorry,
stop.
no.
let me
I
just
hope you
add.
can hear
Let
my
me just
poetry
add.
stop. Come on.
Hey, let me just add.
Yo!
TDE,
Now you ate
TDE
that
in
so bad.
general.
Yeah.
I was looking for my queen of the club because right now, oh, there she is, Glorilla. She's solid. I didn't like her at
Gosh.
first because she added unnecessary R's everywhere. But at the same time, she all
You don't
right.
like her music?
I don't like her merging,
Merging.
but at the
Her
same
merging.
time, I do appreciate the character that she has behind her. She's very solid within herself, and that's something that I would say that I wouldn't be mad if my daughter would listen to her, but
Mhm.
just as of age. But then we
Yeah.
got the Queen of Heart here, SZA. Anything that she says or does,
Mm.
anything she says or does,
Oh my God.
it's magnificent. It's awesome. And you know, you can only do but so much but respect it because of how hard she has gone and how far she has climbed. And then when it comes down to the Queen of Diamond, I'm gonna let y'all choose on who y'all think that is. Who's flashy enough to be the Queen of Diamond?
I'm not gonna lie, I would probably say Beyonce. But the thing is, how do I say this? Like a diamond, she shines so bright that like her brightness kind of makes people uncomfortable. That's why, as much as people love Beyonce, she has a lot of people who critique her. I even critique her because I love her too, but she has very capitalistic ideologies that I don't actually really agree with. So I would honestly put her as a diamond, and I love how you've broken it down using the suits. So I really want to have a stronger conversation for you because I have Kendrick as my heart, like from the male perspective, from the masculine perspective, but SZA is my heart from the feminine. So I love your breakdown.
That's what I was talking about.
I'm keeping the Queen of
Um,
Diamond as Meg Thee
I
Stallion.
say
Ooh,
Rihanna.
another beautiful choice.
Rihanna shine bright like a diamond.
Is she
I
Perfect
was
for
gonna put
Rihanna.
Rihanna,
Another
but
good one too.
I was gonna say Rihanna, but the lack of consistency has me teetering on
Yeah.
the edge and leaning more towards Megan. But
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
She got
But-
Gratification, delayed gratification. Come on, bro.
but
Yeah,
we
We
have to
just
talk
definitely
about
conversated.
we got to
in
talk
the
about
suits, but yeah.
we got to talk about the people who have demoted themselves.
Mm.
These two people have been demoted horribly ever since 2024. And who are they? These two.
Oh.
Jermaine Cole and
I'm
Drake.
dead.
You ain't even got to say their names, bro.
Jermaine
Hey,
We
I
already
shot a
know.
joke
You're the
about
owl
that,
card.
Yeah, you ain't have to say anything.
They
Yeah, you
demoted
didn't have to say
themselves
their
out
names.
of
We
the
know.
rank. They've demoted themselves out of the rank due to their actions and the infrastructure of their character. They have not been stable ever since 7 Minute Drill. And unfortunately for
Mm.
them, you know, I appreciated them for, you know, my days of growing up, my days of being, you know, either in the streets or booed up or whichever the fact may be. However, it's also time to grow up for a
Yeah.
certain someone, and then it's also time to stand 10 toes for another one.
Mhm.
He's always been fragile in front of other kings. Therefore,
Yeah.
he could not be a king himself. Without a firm handshake, how do you get respect?
Mhm.
So
You can't just
personally,
shoot. You can't just shoot and then apologize for the bullet wound that
Yeah.
you gave that other person. You can't apologize for it
J.
because you shot
Cole,
him.
J. Cole
The
hopped
intent was
off the
there. You
porch.
want you aimed and you shot. Like it's hard to apologize for something like that.
J. Cole hopped off
Exactly.
the porch, sprained his ankle, and said, "Wait, hold on, wait, give me a second.
It's-
Nah, I
I
ain't
was
doing
on
it."
my way, but
But you didn't like Grippy? You didn't like Grippy?
Don't
Come
do
on.
that.
Man, don't you know what? Hold on. You know,
Nah,
let me get
bro.
these kids out this bag. Hold
Nah.
on. I'm gonna get on. Hold on. No, we gotta talk about Grippy. Y'all better
No,
not.
no.
Wait,
We
wait,
moving on.
wait,
We
wait.
moving on. We
No, we don't talk about that song, man.
Bro.
I was
we
gonna
don't
say,
talk
what was
about
worse,
that.
Grippy or Wagwan Delilah?
That was when
Don't
They're
bring
kind of
that up.
equal,
Oh,
low key.
shit.
They're kind of equal, bro.
now I
Wagwan
really
Delilah, they're both
gotta go
trash.
to the
Like-
bathroom and check on these kids.
But Grippy was worse for Cole though,
Yeah, that
because it was
bad.
him. Is
That
worse
was
for
bad.
him. I will say
That was
yeah.
low. That was low.
Because that was the
man
first thing he
said
dropped
Grippy.
after basically backing out, like really bowing out, and that's the first thing you dropped. Please, actually, you should have sat down somewhere a lot longer. You should have been by that
It's
beat
like-
writing a lot longer. I know he said he's been working for 10 years. You should have just shut the fuck up for a little bit. Just a bit longer.
It's like J. Cole heard Wagwan Delilah and he was like, "Here, let me one up
When
you
that
real
trash-
quick.
Yeah.
Let me one up you real quick."
Nah, but
Bro,
honestly,
it
there's
was-
nothing worse than Wagwan Delilah. Like that was parody music, except it was
Mhm.
legit. Like if it was parody music, I would have been like, oh yeah, it's a little joke. But like it felt like he was actually trying to like do something with that.
No, he's
And I'm
being.
like, there's so many other
Yeah.
like actual Toronto artists that you could have put on properly, but you want to make a fucking joke out of Toronto, and that's again why I don't respect that man.
I agree.
Good
Facts.
point. Good
Thank
point.
you.
All right.
It's a-
So for
This
now
one,
on,
like, don't piss me off.
King Hammer is Gambit. I don't care what nobody says. After what he
Mhm.
just did with them cards, you are Gambit.
Bro,
Okay? Okay, you be just toss them joints like fire. Like, you know what I'm
fucking
saying?
ready. I was like, yo, another one, another one.
Fah!
Wish I had the soundboard on here. I'd throw that on.
But nah, like
Bah!
just looking at like the different things that's happening in the shift, like
Mhm.
a lot of people like, and let me make it clear, a lot of businesses, a lot of companies
Mhm.
are pushing the idea saying this is the worst place music has ever been. No, this is a reset.
Yeah,
We are going
it's a
to fix and
renaissance.
heal
Yo,
it. Yeah.
if
We're
it
in the
if it's
renaissance.
if it's bad for business, it's good for hip hop.
Oh, facts.
No,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Facts.
And it's happening in all art forms, by the way. It's not just music too.
Yeah.
I love
Happening in
that
the film
question where
industry
you
as
said like
well.
we're in a reset. I was telling you like
Facts.
3 years ago that we're about to enter a renaissance because Beyonce's renaissance had dropped. I was listening to that like on repeat and like I don't know how to explain it, but I love history, so I started just kind of looking back into the actual renaissance period. But
Mm.
obviously my favorite quote is those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So the reason why I say that is because honestly, I'm so sorry to skip the line, but I really need to say this right now while we're talking about it. But um when it comes to what I think new artists should be like really focusing on is pretty much what Kendrick said in the last album on the Heart Part 6, which is, he used the sample from SPW for Use Your Heart, but basically put your heart into the music. Stop worrying about the numbers because that means you're just using your eyes. Like you need to actually focus on it. And that's why I really want to promote delayed gratification because when you're trying to push anything out for just reactions and like just for momentum, it's you again trying to just use your eyes. But when you take the time to harness your craft and focus on the message you're trying to put out, that's when you're using your heart. So when you take the time to study your own craft, but you're also able to look at your motivation better, you also then have the time because again, this is your isolation period where you're working on that shit. So during that time, I always recommend look at the society as it is, the culture as it is. See what music is like, moving people, what's motivating them, and then also reflect on the previous greats that have actually like made movements within music or even any art. As I think it was NK was saying, like art in general. Look to other forms of art to see inspiration. Like I love photography, so I also like to make sure that the pictures that I post with any of my messages are something that if you look hard enough, you're gonna see the message, even if you're not listening to what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying, where it's like you need to look at history in order to like basically study. But when you do that and combine all of those things together, your own soul will be able to express it better in what you put out. So I really loved everything that you guys were saying, but I wanted to really point out that studying history is how you are able to make sure you don't repeat the issues and the problems of the past, but you're also able to learn more about yourself, learn about your culture as it is, but also learn about your previous culture. Like that's so important. That's why I really love Sinners and the way that they tied like multiple cultures into everything, especially in like that one song. So I love music, but I also love studying history. And I think that as we are trying to rebuild like rap as like a genre, we need to look back at those greats and take the time to do so because we're in the Renaissance period where we've been in it in a while, but we're at the peak. So what we put out is actually going to be what stands the test of time if we take our time.
We also
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and piggyback off of what she
piggyback
was
real
saying.
quick, and then I'll jump in after.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. So it's just like the mechanic world. I'm a mechanic for everybody that didn't know. So
Nice.
it's just like the mechanic world. Whenever you want to become a better mechanic, you
Yeah.
go and try to talk to the person that you see that's the best at what they do.
Hmm.
You go and you try to get as much knowledge as possible from that one person, and then you take in whatever you can and use that
Hmm.
in a to basically become a better mechanic.
Yeah.
You take other people's information as well, and use it as part of your arsenal as well. So I was also a writer NK. I was not a writer, but like a hip hop art, not a hip hop artist, but like underground of the underground, all the way
Nice,
underground.
nice.
It don't matter. You
But
somewhere.
yeah. So my homeboy, I learned from him.
Mm-hmm.
He was, man, that dude was so lyrical. I wanted to be just like him. So like I studied his raps. I took, a couple of days, me and him, we went to a park, and then he helped me out. Dude was helping me out
Mm-hmm.
with my pen, telling me his thought process whenever he's writing.
Mm-hmm.
It's I
That's
just
beautiful.
I'm like a sponge. I'm like a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to take people's information and I try to just be a better person. Try to
Mm-hmm.
be better at what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that hip hop artists should do the same thing. I think hip hop artists should go and try to be better and make their music better, but for
Mm-hmm.
some reason they just want to go and take the easy route, have
Yeah.
somebody else write for them, have AI write for them, have other
Mm-hmm.
people, record the song for them, and all they have to do is listen to it and then they record over it.
Mm-hmm.
So the way the shift needs to happen is people just need to do things on their own. People need to write their own shit. People need to, oh, excuse my French. People
No, you
just
good.
need to
You
write
good.
their own music.
It's passion.
People just need to write their own music. Like I just don't, ever since the turn up era happened, like I know for a fact that a lot of these people did not write any of those songs, which is sad because even a little kid can write that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a little kid can write the ABC raps that they were writing. So I just think again, like what Aya was saying, I think that we as like hip hop artists just need to do shit for their own, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no. So when you were talking about the whole like mechanic aspect, to your point, you can take that and you can apply that to producing. It's the same thing. When you work with producers, you have a
Thank you.
yeah. Not so I saw your piano. I'm like, let me lock in. So looking at producers, young producers, they will look up to the older producers, not necessarily being in the room, but they would study their art, right? So at that point, when it comes down to like crafting songs, like it really, like the one thing that really matters is at this point we have to welcome in the creativity, but it's our job to critique everything now. Since that all of these things are changing, all these borders are being knocked down, we have a voice again, right? So depending on where we go or who we choose to support, we have a voice to say, nah, that wasn't it. Nah, that's cold. That's fire. And then they can build off of that, because now that you have an audience, you can build around it, not necessarily have them in the front part of your head, but the back part of your head. And then you can start to create and mold things that other rappers, singers, or whoever, they can use to hop on that, and y'all can create art. Looking at the shift again, like, look at all the things that were exposed. Botting. Bots. A lot of people, thanks to academics, we know about numbers somewhat. Not like Aiden Ross and his friends, because they don't get it. They don't understand it. But for the people that are on YouTube that's watching the Curtis Kings, that's watching the Company Man, Big Zo, Koala, any of these individuals that have their channels well established, that's been sharing this information, we are learning from them, and then we get to share it to whoever's watching this, right? So with that being said, it's kind of like, it's tough because everything is a little scattered, because it's so easy to be all over the place with this, but we just have to learn how to like narrow in on like, okay, this is what needs to happen so we can start to guide this ship this way instead of go back the same route that was happening prior. So that's how I see the shift. When we look at Spotify, I had no idea Spotify was just a music library. That was me personally. From when I found out about Billboard, and they're the ones controlling how much a stream would equate to in terms of cost and revenue, then I'm like, okay, so since Billboard is controlling this, when you look at Spotify and how much you got to pay, mind you, today, Spotify hiked up their subscription rate again. What are we subscribing for?
Teeth, man.
Yo, that's crazy.
And honestly, like their shuffle options are so shit, especially the AI one. Like I don't like what am I paying for? I'm so glad I'm going back to school because I'm not
Buns.
gonna be using that student
Buns.
discount. I'm so sorry. I'm not paying full price for that bullshit.
Straight scams.
I just want
I
the chat
stopped
to
paying
know.
for Spotify years ago.
I just want the chat to know. This means I got something to say. This means I'm ready to argue. Academics, you done triggered me with that one.
Oh Lord.
You triggered me with that
Yeah,
one
we-
because you can just tell with this shift, their power is now in jeopardy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Number one, you've seen how one-sided ACT was during the great beef of 2024. You've seen how Aiden Ross is out and about and acting funny towards everybody who appreciates or supports Kendrick. Same with how Kai was a little bit beforehand. Same how I Show Speed was. Like a lot of people that are in important places depend on each other in order to push that agenda so that they can go ahead and make more money off of themselves, off of the people, off of the consumer. Now, with the consumers waking up and demanding and needing more quality music, their power is now in jeopardy because that is not the agenda they support. They support the derogatory behavior of other people in order to increase their own personal revenue. And they're afraid that this shift is going to compromise that money because it now doesn't coincide with their character that they built for the last 10 to 15 years. And we would know an obvious shift in their character because of the way that they're acting. They cannot sit there and say that they're impartial or non-biased because it's obvious whose side that they're catering to. Look at Drewski. You saw how K Dot did him on at the BET Awards. Like we all understand vibes. We all understand energy. We all understand mannerisms of human beings. And boy, over there. And pardon me. But literally it's all about this boy that messed up my whole vibe.
Lost your train of thought. Don't kill me.
Nah.
I'll come back. I'll come back.
But when it comes down to it, this whole shift in hip hop and all that, it's more directed towards the youth because they want the youth to stay malleable, to stay, on that YN stuff instead of that grown man stuff or that grown woman stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to make money off of people who are bettering themselves instead of just giving the better part of themselves
Oh
to
my
them.
God. No, literally.
So
So
that's
no.
why I flagged this because I'm always ready to argue. But if I have something to say, I'll throw this up just
Okay,
for the
I'm gonna
chat
need
to
you to put
understand
out
what I'm
the
doing.
other one on my behalf. 'Cause I need to argue something. Well, actually, not even argue. I need to agree with you something very heavily, but it'll be an argument against, how society is. But like, okay, especially like discrediting people who are trying to better themselves. The reactions to Kai Cenat just want like reading on his live enraged me so much. I have a 30-minute video that is gonna be dropping as soon as my freaking computer starts working. But it's basically telling people who are parents, people who are planning to be parents and people who just are part of villages. Like, you don't got kids, but you got niece, nephew, whatever. It's basically going to give you the blueprint on how you can better yourself so your kids can see you as a good example. We have relied entirely too much on like the state to dictate how our kids are learning in school. And that was our first failure as adults because the state just wants you to work. They don't want you to become smarter so you can do better for yourself. So why would you trust them to like make sure that your kids are good? So you need to do that yourself at home. So you need to start reading to your kids. But most importantly, one thing I highlight, get some fucking library cards. I'm sorry, excuse my French. Y'all need to get library cards first and foremost. But to also kind of add to what Flex was saying earlier, and just like the shift of power that's happened where, Billboard has too much control, Spotify is very shaky, and honestly, really, you're paying for too much. I re- like I realize we need to seek a balance. Right now, the scales are tipped in the favor of the industry, and we need to start putting weight on the other side. The industry should have only ever worked as a sponsorship program for the right voices to be heard and thereby shaping our culture for the better. But that's not what's happening right now. And as mentioned, we're at the peak of a renaissance period. And Beyonce then told us, but we weren't listening. And Cowboy Carter to me was the returning of us to our roots, which we need to do while we work on our craft. And so, as indie artists, I'm kind of jumping ahead to one of the questions, but like for new upcoming artists, people who aren't participating with the industry, we need to remind the industry that they need us, not the other way around.
Facts.
Mhm.
I got
Man,
some
why are you chefing like that? Why are you
Bro, I've been
chefing like that?
cooking
crazy.
all
She's been
night.
chef.
I need to go
Bro,
get
I
some
thought of
Old
that
Bay
breakdown. I was
because
like,
that
no.
was
I need to make sure y'all hear me, and I want to be very concise with that shit.
shout
I
out to
got something to
Baltimore.
add
She
too, if
needs
you
some
don't
Old Bay
mind.
to that.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Yo, Lightwalker, go ahead.
Because honestly, like pretty much you guys have all kind of been summing it up. But yeah, the shift, I think the emphasis on this shift is to remind the consumer that the power is truly in our hands. And it's like we said earlier that, yeah, every 10 years or so, there's always like a decline and then somehow there's a new sound and we go back up. But this feels different because during those times, it didn't feel like, oh, we still have the power. It was like, okay, they created the next sound and we followed. And yes, we liked it, right, for the most part. But then now we realize within the last, 10 or 12 years now, we just allowed anything to go to the point where now we're at a breaking point. And it's like, okay, we actually have the say. Like we said earlier, we pay them, right? We have the power. So we dictate. And we're at a point now where we can literally make content criticizing our favorite artists,
Yup.
movies, everything's being criticized, everything is being analyzed, and it's to the point where they're not just gonna get away just dropping BS. They drop a shitty movie, excuse my language. We're gonna talk shit about it, excuse my language
Oh,
again,
absolutely.
right? It's the same thing with an album. If J. Cole drops his album and it's a stinker, he's gonna get destroyed, right?
He's gonna hear about it.
He's gonna hear that. It's to the point now where it's like we actually have the say. And I feel like these next few years are going to be very interesting because now we can see what the consumer really wants. And I think it's going to be a self-finding thing too, because the consumer
Yes.
in mass, I would say, still doesn't really know what they want, right? Like some of us will say we want conscious music. Some of us still want the vibe, but want it to mean something, right? And then some people just want the vibe, and then some people don't know what they want, right? So it's like all over the place. But these next few years and the leaders that we mentioned earlier, I think are going to lay the foundation for what comes next. 2030s are right there, right? And it's looking kind of bleak,
Yeah.
but I do have hope.
So
I have hope.
one thing.
Hey man,
Listen, all we
don't
can do is have
remind me
hope.
that 2030 is coming because I'm gonna be like 40.
Oh man,
Oh,
you're good.
Don't remind me, man.
That's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
for real.
But real
Every
quick
day
though,
above
Oh,
I
ground.
can't wait
man.
to hit 30. I'm so excited to hit 30, bro.
Trust me, 2 years, we're almost there.
So
Let's
to
go.
Lightwalker's point,
Hey,
what do you
shout out to
mean?
Big Zo.
Big Zo's here. Jeez.
Yeah,
that's
Big
the
Zo's
guy.
in here.
What's good?
That's the guy. But to Lightwalker's
Ça
point.
passait, tout fait la même. Sorry.
So
I ain't gonna tell y'all what that means, but he know.
no, we'll figure it out later. But to Lightwalker's point, when you're talking about what the consumer wants and like they're kind of confused, it's see that's okay. So there's two ways you can go about this. You either rely on the music industry to hopefully organize these genres so that we can go to any avenue that we want and then we can enjoy the music, or it's up to us to kind of establish like solidified genres that we can go to as our sources to find music. It will make everything so much easier. Just think about it when you look at rock music and how many subgenres that has.
Yep.
And then you look at rap, hip hop, it's like, bro, it's like everything's together. We don't know what's what half the time.
Yeah.
It took me
Everything's
a
also
while to
because
figure
what's
out
it
what
called?
Playboy Cardi does.
No, I
They
have,
keep switching too.
Yeah.
I have an answer for that, but basically, like, obviously, because like there's not a lot of like what's it called? It's escaping, the word is escaping me, but basically, like, there's not a lot of notoriety for the type of art that we put out. That's why with the Grammys and like other music awards, they just put us in categories that we often don't belong with. That's why Nikki, honestly, as much as like I don't really mess with her anymore, she was mad because she was always in categories that she doesn't feel like she belongs with. So I remember, I think part of what started the beef with her and Lotto is that Lotto won for, I think, best rap album or best pop album, but like basically they had a song that came out basically very similar vibes, but she wasn't in the category that she believes she should have been. So that is part of why it's harder for us to figure out our own genres, is because when we look at how music is shown to the rest of the world, we're basically generalized rather than being seen for exactly what our specifics are. But what you were saying also earlier about, you know, having people that can make that decision reminded me, because I actually forgot to mention this, but for like the consumer question, or sorry, the shift question. But basically, I remember watching FG Signifier's video, I'm What the Culture Feeling. I actually recommend everybody to watch that if you believe that you like we need to be the voices of the culture, because basically he describes and paints out what a gatekeeper is within the rap game and what they did in the past. You need to know the purpose of them in order to understand what we actually need to be doing right now. But basically, to kind of summarize it, the gatekeepers were the ones that even allowed the industry to know about some of the people that were just, you know, up and coming. Meaning we also decided who got access to the sponsorship, because we know for our culture what message we want to put out. We're not going to let somebody pulling out bullshit go in there and represent us as a culture. We need to figure out what we want to represent as Black people, as and how we want a rap culture to be represented to paint that light. And then as gatekeepers, we can still do the critiques that we're doing right now, and that's how we become the gatekeepers. That's why I really want to be a part of the conversation, because I think you guys would be amazing gatekeepers. You have so much to say and like so much knowledge. So become the gatekeepers, and we'll be able to kind of decide within our own bubble over time whose voice actually gets heard.
All right.
No, that's a great point.
Yo,
Oh,
W
thank you, thank
points.
you.
yo,
Yeah.
you know what?
And also,
And you see that's why whenever I saw the clips
Hmm.
get into the Grammys, whenever I saw
Yeah.
Kendrick
Yep.
win all those Grammys, I
Yep.
was like, yo,
About
hip hop
time to
is
represent
back.
the hood. Like people are
NK.
Hip
actually
hop is
listening.
Yo, I want
back.
to hear
mm,
NK next now. I want to hear NK
Yeah.
next.
Yes.
yeah, I was just gonna add. First of all, I agree with basically everything everyone's saying. The point I wanted to touch on is in regards to the Billboard and the Spotify like dynamic a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, because I think one thing that we have to realize with that kind of revelation is that it really goes to show how value in our society is manufactured, right? In terms of like like who is Billboard to tell us the masses, the public, what the value of an
Hmm.
individual song is, or what the
Yep.
value of an album is, or all of these things. And what's evident from looking at how they've manipulated those numbers is that they're just
Hmm.
all it is how do we set these numbers up so that we can make the most amount of profit, and that's it.
Yep.
It ends
It's all about
there.
the money.
In terms of like how the culture is gonna do, in terms of how especially Black people and Black creators, are doing, or how they're gonna be feeling, or how that affects them it doesn't matter to them. All they see is numbers on
Mm-hmm.
a piece of paper or on a screen, and then they manipulate those numbers and tell us, well, this is how much this is worth. If you have a million plays on Spotify or YouTube Music or whatever, it's worth this much amount. It's all manufactured. It's made up. There's no, there's
Hmm.
nothing, there's nothing in reality that determines how much a song is worth. Only the people
And
that
with
are
bots
actually
existing,
listening
we've
to it,
already seen how like they can be the
right?
numbers can be manipulated. So why are we believing
Yeah,
the
you
numbers if they
can't
can be manipulated?
quantify that. It's not something you can
Exactly.
quantify, but that's the issue with the kind of society we live in, is that it has to
Hmm.
quantify everything, because the main
Yep.
goal is to just make money and make profit, but then it's willing to deteriorate the culture, the music, the art, the literal
Hmm.
planet we live on, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
issue that we're seeing right now. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love that addition, because you're saying exactly what I've been like reflecting on for so long. And it's literally just that part, because money is the motivator for everything. People want fast money, not just like long lasting money. And that's part of why like
Right.
people are just willing to put out anything, but also they're willing to like promote anything, because it doesn't matter. They're paying basically like pennies to the dollar. Like it's
Mhm.
not it's not gonna matter to them.
Look at Offset.
Yep.
Hey,
Can I play my card?
basically, so
Oh wait, no, J Tom, you next. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
J. Tom and then King.
okay. So the way that I see it, this the promotional, not the promotion, the basically the industry, the ones that promote, like Universal and
Mhm.
what I forgot the other companies. I don't care.
Mhm.
Um,
Sony, I think, I don't know. I
so
could be wrong.
they're trying to feed us the BS, which is numbers,
Mhm.
numbers this, numbers that. Oh, this person over here is outplaying Kendrick Lamar. Oh, Drake has more numbers than X, Y, and Z. Oh, J. Cole
Mhm.
had the best album, best verse. When in all actuality, better music is out there,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's not being promoted.
Mhm.
If the better music was promoted, this industry would be completely different.
Absolutely. But that's
And
also why I was saying, like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, that's why I was also saying, like, as the consumers, yes, we are now the currency, but we decide our own value. That, like, we're different type of currency. So the sooner we start showing them what our value is, the sooner they start trying to lowball us.
Right,
Mhm.
But sorry, go on.
right. And I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said. So
Hmm.
basically, in the turn up era, they were feeding us BS like
Hmm.
designer. They
Yeah.
were feeding us BS like I'm gonna say it. I don't care. They were feeding us BS like designer. They were feeding us BS like Soldier Boy. I'm gonna say him too. I don't care. Come at me.
Now that was a
So
pioneer for like the social media booth. I'll give him that. But I
yeah.
get exactly what you mean.
So they were feeding us that, and people were just taking it in because that's what was on the radio.
Hmm.
And if basically if the music industry was different, like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we were
Hmm.
getting people like Ludacris, we were getting people like Chameleonaire, we were getting people
Hmm.
like
Oh my God, I love
UGK,
familiar.
Jay-Z, we were getting people like Nas. Even Nas was being played here in Houston.
Yeah.
Just we had all these people being played, and it was quality music.
Mhm.
Ti, I'm gonna even say Ti's music was good.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Ti,
So my point
honestly,
is,
this nigga reads a dictionary. I'll tell you that. He
yeah.
knows what a dictionary is.
So we were getting all this music, and then all of a sudden 2010 comes, and then like what the fuck happened?
LMFAO.
Not too much, not too much.
What?
Come
I
on, that was
used
an
to
era.
bump them
We
in
love that era
school
though.
because I did a lot of
No, I'm
dances. I
just
told
saying that
gangster
was
dance when
that
I was
was the
younger.
That was a shift.
that not even I wouldn't even say shift. That was the
Mm.
new rollout. That
Mm.
was
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
new
that is
thing.
true.
Like
And
hype.
they ushered in. That's why a lot of us we weren't too cool with dubstep, but some of us
Yeah.
could appreciate dubstep. You know what I'm saying? A lot. That's
Shout out,
when
I got
that's
family.
when like Raven got popular. Like like everybody goes to a rave
Or
because it
Harlem
was.
Oh,
Shake.
you know who else was really good?
Oh, the
303.
Harlem
I don't
Shake.
know
Oh
if
my
y'all remember
god.
them, but don't trust the hoe. Never trust. I love them so bad. So, like they were around the same time as LMFAO. I'm sorry, they shaped music so differently for me during that time period. But that's why I'm like, nah, not too much.
Mhm.
It brought you back.
I hear you, but not too much on them, please.
All right, King's next. Take it away.
Impact.
Oh,
Impact is the word of the day. Impact
Mm.
is
Oh snap.
driven
That's right.
by
all
the
right, Gambit.
consumer. Oh, trust and believe. Gambit learned from me. So,
Love that.
so I'm a grandmaster spades player. So I ain't trying to hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all saw the breakdown of
I'll whoop
their
you in dominoes.
roles.
It's cool.
That's it.
You saw their breakdown of the rules earlier. If y'all need to skip or go back to it, trust me, I was cooking. But now I'm about to add some grease. So
Damn.
Mm.
listen, Impact. We haven't had impact because the turn up era was all about the mood, the vibe,
Yeah.
the scene. We were always wondering about who is this and who is that. We were always looking for something new, something fresh, instead of
Hmm.
what they were actually talking about or what they were actually doing or progressing, because we were all trying to escape something that
Hmm.
we all felt. We all had a
Yes.
void. Um, Now, there were four people at the time that were filling the void. That would be Drake, Kid Cudi, Kanye West, and Kendrick. Future, if you want to add that in, and I believe Tyler at the same time as well. With Future, with Wiz Khalifa, with around that 2010 to 2018 era. For those 8 years is what I would consider the turn up era.
Hmm.
Um, that era, we were all lost because we were finding ourselves, and we were finding ourselves within lost people. So
Hmm.
when it comes down to it, there was a lack of impact because there was no substance to their music. There was no shock value to what was going on, because we were either too
Hmm.
young to understand or too old to be aware of anything that was
Yeah.
not paying our bills. So when it comes down to it, we as the consumer, we judge things more on based on impact. It doesn't matter what
Hmm.
Billboard has to say. It doesn't matter about what another artist has to say about it. It
Yeah.
matters about where, why, and how it's being played. Just like
Absolutely.
how a lot of people and me, like I showed y'all earlier, I drive delivery, but I keep my hat backwards at all times because forget corporate America. Um,
Yeah.
I'm a black man in corporate America, and y'all ain't gonna be able to take my style. Just know that y'all can't mimic it.
Oh,
That's
love that.
because number one, hip hop taught me, and now I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that my teachings are spread.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
number two, every day that I go out on route, and I have this at max volume right before I leave my station, I'm
Hmm.
playing the BET Cipher by Kendrick
Ooh.
Lamar
Ooh.
2013. I hate y'all. I
Ooh.
do anything to replace y'all. Shout out to Face Mob. A ghetto
Oh.
boy with employed until I get a day
Baseball.
job and
Oh my
kicking
God.
Yeah,
boxes.
I
I
kick
kick ass and then kick knowledge. I'm way more polished than 99% of the scholars you thought had graduated.
waited.
I'm the master that master. I'm the baby that see into the industry had wanted me assassinated. You either corny or an
I saw how you
opportunist.
skipped over that.
Ooh.
Listen, when I
Wait.
tell you, when I tell you that they look at me and they hate it because of the fact, no, that's impact. He came in and
Yes.
told
Shout
everybody.
out Fit Mommy.
He
Facts.
came in and told everybody,
Hmm.
listen, I'm not for this. I'm not for that. That was shock value during the turn up era, but we
Yep.
all pushed it aside because we're like, hey, that's not hot. That's not popping, but he is stirring the pot. But
Yep.
that's not what we want to listen to. Kendrick has
Hmm.
been doing that for years. Nas has been doing that for years.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All the people that are goats or who we consider the Mount Rushmore, the four aces in my deck,
Hmm.
the four aces in my deck, the people I consider the four aces in my deck are the ones that are still standing for the
Hmm.
last 20 plus years.
Yep.
Right.
And all those other people, they came and went because they lacked impact. That's why
Yep.
I'm saying no matter what the consumer does, no matter what Billboard says, no matter what anybody else has to do about it, it all depends on your impact, because your impact just might last forever. Don't forget control.
Mm.
Hmm. Oh my God. No, never. Oh,
I don't think
I
No,
anybody's
really
going to
nobody
want to
forget.
say,
forgets
Gosh, I'll
control.
never
no,
forget that
nobody's
day.
gonna forget control, but I really want to ask
Be-
something really quick
I
because I
listen to
loved everything.
Control like 3 times a week. Like my thing is that I
Absolutely.
listen to it simply because of the nostalgia factor off of it.
Hmm.
And nobody ever talks about Control's numbers, even though it's
Yep.
Big Sean's song. Guess what? Control's numbers, it's like over 5.5 mil on Big Sean's Spotify, and
It
Hmm.
Big
doesn't
Sean's
matter though.
songs.
But
No,
yeah, go
Big
ahead.
Sean. It doesn't matter, but here's the
Mm,
thing: the numbers do solidify their placement,
Hmm.
but that
Mm.
is the only thing. It only solidifies their placement. It doesn't
Yes.
solidify the impact. The
Hmm.
Mm.
impact, somebody can go back and listen to something again
Mhm.
and again and
Absolutely.
again
Mhm.
and give it all sorts of love.
Hmm.
And no matter what, like when was the last time you heard "So Be It"?
I
Chains
listen to
and
that
Whips.
regularly. Bro, I
Today.
listened to that. Bro,
Today.
I'm
Today,
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Today.
I think
It's in the
your
rotation.
soul,
because
like your
that
body,
is
will
a
help you
perfect
free it.
example of
No, I'm so
impact.
sorry that they were spitting. Like your soul don't like your body will help you free it has been my motto in helping people change their lives because right now people's souls are like crying and you need
Facts.
to get in tune with your body. But I'm so sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but I loved everything you were saying, especially because you were talking about the impact and during that time. But I also, I love history, but I also love timelines. I want to add the fact that during that time was around the 2008, like depression was basically happening. Like we were entering a depression during that time. So
Mhm.
one thing that's usually a key recession indicator is that certain music, it's called recession music. People need to be out in the club. They're spending money on drinks because they need to escape from the realities of what they're going through. So of course that music was bumping because we were
Right.
entering the peak of a recession. So impact absolutely is something that we need to always be considering when we are putting out our art because again, as you're saying, despite us basically reaching the peak and maybe even kind of coming to that downturn, Kendrick was dropping absolute fucking heat. He was dropping messages, but only the people who really love music and really love or like understand the impact of music heard it.
A
Everybody
lot of
else just
people
wanted
here, they don't listen. And
exactly.
with
What did
that, I end my turn.
UGK or I think it was
CDO.
what song was it? No, Andre 3000. They don't want to dance. They just want to like they just want to. They don't want to hear me. They just want to dance.
Come on.
Literally.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
the
I didn't
model.
just let that off. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, let's hear
You
from
know,
White Walker,
people.
and then we're gonna
Oh,
go to NK after.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's like there's so many factors to it, but the shift, the reaction to the culture where we're at right now, like I said, I have hope. I really do because I really feel like we haven't been in this place. And it's like what you said with impact. We could just see how we just did the freestyle, we did the cipher, right? We were just going off of that because you won't forget where you were when that dropped. Just like control, you don't forget where you were. I remember specifically what I was doing. I remember hearing it, my first reaction, going home, seeing Twitter, everybody going crazy. I remember that. That's impact. And like you said, with streaming and Billboard, it's just placements because there has to be a hierarchy. There has to be an order. They're going to make more money when they see people interacting based off of popularity. We're going to prop this guy up, then we'll prop this guy up, then we'll prop these guys up, and then we won't put the same push for them. So that creates a divide. And it's like we were alluding to earlier, too. They don't care about our health. The prison industrial complex is a real thing, right? So if they can create more music to create more low vibrational energy, people are going to turn on their own community members, and then in turn now the community is destroyed and we end up in the place that we're in right now. So there's so much to it, you know what I'm saying? But I think it starts with the art because as bleak as the world is right now, the last thing that we really truly have is art, right? And if that is taken over completely by them and it's to the point where we're not getting the right message that we truly need in this crazy
Mm-hmm.
time, we are cooked. We
Oh
are
my god,
cooked.
yeah.
It's not about vibes no more, right? The
Mm.
threat of war is
Bro,
right
ain't
around the
shit
corner.
fucking funny no more.
It's not funny no more. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like a lot of us from early Gen Z, I think we had this. I talk about on my channel. We had the habit of maturing much faster, right? Where I think a lot of us wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
a lot of adult things from an earlier age, and in turn, depending on the type of lifestyle you had, you may have done so many things for earlier on in your younger age,
Yeah.
to the point where it's like I don't really need to do that right now. Like I could care less about going to a club ever again, right?
Yo,
And I've already had
bro.
right? So when they're talking about it's not playing in the club, I'm like, have you been to the club in the city? Because the clubs ain't jumping, right? The music ain't making people move. People ain't feeling themselves no more. No one cares.
Mm.
It's all an aesthetic. It's all an image, right?
Mhm.
The idea of enjoying yourself and living in the moment is gone because it's just straight
Absolutely.
low vibrations. So that has to
Mm-hmm.
change. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's why I go to those Latino clubs.
I say that's also
The vibration is always up in the Latino clubs, man.
you have to hit one up, man.
Oh
Always
yeah.
up. It's
I'm
When I was
sorry, man. These
visiting my
clubs
always
ain't
friend in
cutting
up.
it.
Calgary, bro, I was hitting them Latin clubs every time I went to Calgary to see my best friend. Oh my god. There was one night we went and there was like dance lessons. Like, I'm so sorry. Like places where you not say you're forced to dance, but there's room to dance is exactly where I'm trying to be at.
Right.
Because sitting around in
Listen.
the corner, this
Oh my
boots business. I'm so sorry. I haven't seen clubs in like a very long time. I only go to places where I know I can dance, where I can enjoy the music. So like there's some places that I'm about to check out that do like R&B listings every Friday. And
Mhm.
so like you just are with people, like-minded people that like music, and I'm so excited to do that. And then one of my homeboys, he like his uncle does something completely different, but I'm about to like check that out. But it's like a place for you to really enjoy the music and the culture, but also just like I'm pushing 30. I'm so sorry. The club scene right now is not for me right now. Like I don't want to be around them kids, bro. I do not want to be around them fucking kids.
It's straight. I did a video on this too. It's bottle wars culture. I went
Yup.
to a club last year and there was no dance floor. I said, what was the point of there being a club?
It's just a bar.
Y'all don't
It's really
understand.
the bar and the boots.
Y'all don't understand
It's
what
just a
goes to the
bar.
clubs. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. We're gonna go to NK and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. Yo, listen, it's getting to a point where some of the clubs they got the party favors now.
Cutwater.
Party favors now. Like, yo, this is what bringing people back to the club. Ever since Cutwater came out, yo, they've been stocking. They've been stocking.
How much are they charging? Like 50 per can?
Probably.
Nah, more like 100 per can.
These mans are teeth, man. I'm sorry.
They're bringing in the
Boycott the
Cutwater
club.
now. It's serious. Man's
I'm
rather
Personally-
boycotting
in
the
the
club
bottle.
until we get artists to make music again for the club. Because
Personally, this is
Yeah.
this is what Kendrick did to the rap game.
Yo, bro. All right, yo, NK.
And
Say
Yeah.
less, man. You ain't gotta say.
Alright,
You
The
ain't gotta
club
say
is
anymore,
next.
bro.
The club is
Alright.
next.
You ain't gotta
Well,
say
That's
anymore,
I
bro.
think
I
the main point the main point I wanted to kind of add to that I think that King brought up was around like just the whole impact thing, right? Which also ties into what J Tom was talking about before in terms of like like that delayed gratification and all of that,
Mhm.
because and this kind of shifts into like the artist aspect of
Yeah.
like the conversation. And I think like speaking as an artist, some of the things that were brought up spoke to me a lot in the sense of like, even in regards to, I forget who said it, but going back to the past and really like
Yeah, me.
understanding the history of your art form and your craft. And I
Yep.
think that goes for anybody in anything that you, oh, it was J Tom, whether you're like a mechanic, whether it doesn't matter. Like you
Oh,
should
yeah, that
understand the
mechanic stuff.
history of what you're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because even myself, who I'm black, but my parents
Really?
migrated to
Don't do that.
but my parents
Word?
migrated.
Oh man.
But
You have to state it nowadays. 'Cause,
look,
Oh my god.
but at the same time, it's like my parents migrated to Canada in the late 80s. I was born and raised in Canada, so because of that, like because even when it comes to hip hop was created by primarily Black Americans, right? So even myself, when I started to make music, when I
Caribbeans
started
too.
making beats, when I started, and Caribbeans, 100%, and even with that, there's a connection to even Caribbean music is influenced by African music, and African music it's all tied together,
Yup.
right?
Mhm.
Concretely, it's tied together. Like the Zulu Nation was one of the
Yeah.
earliest, crews ever in hip hop. Like we're all connected, and all this division, like BS that we're seeing, like even sometimes in the Black community is getting out of hand at times. But anyways, understanding that history is crucial, because when I started rapping, I was like, okay, like it's not enough for me to just be like, oh, I'm gonna just listen to whoever's popular at the time. I was like, I went back to the 80s, bro. I listened to LL Cool J, I listened to Stetsasonics, I listened to fucking Cool Mo D, anything I could get my hands on, bro. I was like, let me listen to this. Obviously, my favorites were like the Big Daddy Kane, the Cool G rap. Like that's like the really like rapidy rap shit was like my style. But point being, like even then, I was still listening to the things that were happening at that time. I was still listening to Wayne, when he was still good, and and whoever was popping in the 2000s when I started to make music. So I think like doing that allows us to create the future and create the new. If you know what came before you, then you can use all of those different influences and make something new and make something interesting. And to the point that it's like, almost unrecognizable at times. Like someone that really knows music will hear your stuff and be like, oh, I can tell you probably listen to some of this and some of that, but it'll be murkier because you have so many different influences. And I think even when I think of someone like speaking of impact, even though he wasn't a mainstream artist, like MF Doom, who passed away in 2020, perfect example of someone who was like, this dude's brother died, who he used to rap with in the first crew he was in, and then this nigga disappeared, came back with a mask on. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy, right? From an artistic standpoint, that is insane. But
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that allows artists to have impact, is taking those kind of risks and doing what's true to them, because that's not for everybody. I'm not saying everybody needs to go put on a mask. I'm just saying, like, people should really understand who they are for themselves as artists, so that when they're making their music, it's actually authentic and it's actually real, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what allows us to really, like, have that longevity, not only as artists but as a culture, right? Even for the consumers and people listening to the music, is if you really know who you are and you're reflecting yourself, you're reflecting your surroundings, you're reflecting the times, that's what makes an Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
what makes those kind of classic albums. That's what makes, any classic album you can think of, even on the even on the side of, like, more popular music, like, right, we're talking about clubs and people not dancing. Who is the
Mm-hmm.
modern day Missy Elliott? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Artist.
even if,
Yeah.
right, even if you are someone who, you only, like, prefer lyrical rap, like, I was like that, especially when I was a teenager. I was like, oh, I only want to hear them bars. When a Missy song dropped, I was all over it. You know
Come
what
on.
I was like, this is fire, because
Music
and
make
she
you lose
also
control.
understood.
Music make you lose
Yeah.
Bro, come on.
And she also understood her
Awesome.
past. She also always paid homage to the rappers from the 80s and 90s. You can hear it in her lyrics even. She's always
Mm-hmm.
referencing these, and she did her own thing with it. Like, that's what we need, is for people to not be scared of taking those risks, and to really understand,
Yes.
like, yo, in order for the culture to move forward, you have to take those risks and understand that, like, just because some label
Absolutely.
exec or whatever is saying, oh, no one wants to hear that, no one wants to hear this, they don't understand shit. Pardon my
Mm-hmm.
language. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on
No,
here,
no, no. They
but they
understand
don't.
the
But
business.
and that's
And
the
honestly,
issue.
yeah.
They understand, and even though they understand the business in reality, in actuality, is chasing the culture, right?
Yes.
A lot of the
Yes. Oh my
songs and
God.
a lot of the artists they choose to put on were already
Mm-hmm.
popping
Yep.
before they signed them. That's why they
Yes.
signed them. They
Mm-hmm.
Right, because even with the whole Drake Kendrick beef, I remember people trying to be like, oh, Drake put Kendrick on, but I'm like, nigga, Dr. Dre co-signed this nigga way
Yes.
before this.
Oh,
Even the
bro.
weekend, bro. Even the
Thank you.
weekend, people were saying that, and I was like, look, the weekend's House of Balloons
House of
mixtape
Balloons is going
was
crazy.
Yep.
viral
What are we talking about?
before
Bro,
Drake.
I
Was
Oh.
want to speak
viral
on that
before
right now,
Drake.
bro. Oh my God. Because
Yeah,
when we're
people
talking
just
about
take
impact,
whatever Drake
right?
says and they run with that shit.
Yeah.
EXO.
King Hammer, I see your card, but I just got to say this real quick, because if we're going to talk about impact, look at the business of the music industry and notice how every time there was like a dark period in music, the perfect artists just so happened to come out, right? So when it comes to the Weekend and House of Balloons, remember I forgot who said it, but when the Weekend came out, it was like pretty like a depressing time in a sense, which is why
Yeah.
his music was slapping. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he went on his run with the albums that he put out, nah, that was like that's
Crazy.
a different kind of run, because the way that his music went around the world like 3 times over that quick,
Yep.
Just like that.
that's something to notice. But also watch this now. 2018, I think it was Mimi that said it was like kind of like a depression kind of state.
Oh, 2008. So that
2000,
was like
sorry,
that's
sorry,
the
sorry,
start of,
2008. I had
yeah.
it in my head, but I just said 2018. That's my
It's
fault.
okay.
But in
No, no. Honestly, it could have
2008,
felt like 2018.
yeah, that's my
That was
fault. That's
basically
my
right
fault.
before COVID, like a couple years before COVID started. And honestly, we are technically in recession-esque,
Right
like
now.
there's recession indicators that have been happening for the last like
Facts.
year or two.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
coming.
are now in that second stage, or not second stage, but everything is a cycle. Like there's business cycles, there's economic cycles in life. Even timelines is what I'm saying. You have to learn your history in order to understand how the future is going to be laid out, and that's why I actually really love astrology. But that's another thing. But what I'm trying to say is that we're now in the next cycle of the recession period. So that's why everything that we're talking about right now has pretty much already happened back in 2008.
So check this out though. In that time period, 2008, notice how they started to roll out rappers with an ideal
Mm-hmm.
dance that came with their
Yup.
music. Think about every viral
Right.
dance that came out, starting with Soulja Boy, and then starting to go down that line. Every time there was a dance, it was a dark period. But you know, when you hit that stanky leg, oh so right, you know that is slap.
Or when you hit that Dougie, you know, you're done in smoke.
When you hit that, you know, or when you hit the jerk, you know, the cat daddy. You know, we out here doing the most. But
oh my God, don't even get me started on cat daddy, bro.
Yo, cat daddy,
Oh my God, jerking in general. That was my era. I was in my backyard using like my sliding doors as a mirror, just practicing dance moves because like that was really an era for dancing, bro.
For real. Especially that Vine era too.
That pin drop though.
And honestly, remember TikTok basically came out. Well, it was already like starting, but it really started booming around like COVID time because everybody was forced to be in their house. Their social media is booming. Technology has really advanced since 2008. So we now are able to see the art being made in real time for some people.
So
it's crazy.
To finish my point though, just like the music industry, they're paying attention to the impact. They're studying it, right? But watch this now. They have to get it from us at the end of the day. You know, they have to look to the consumer and see what's hot so that they can emulate that. They can go and find their artist, Ice Spice, and use that individual to get the consumer on their side so they can continue that kind of mental conditioning so that they can like more of this. And then stay away from over here, which is where the culture is, right? So you got to pay attention. Like the same way how we're talking about everything and we know this, they know it too. But they still got to come home. They got to knock on that door. What's that one movie, Sinners? Yeah, you got to invite them in.
And we gatekeepers, we can say no.
Yeah.
And you can say no. Yes, you can. You have the power.
Exactly, right? So that's the main thing. So at this point, moving on to like what the old role was when it comes to this whole music thing, looking at like all the outliers, just the algorithms, the generated playlists, like just like the way that you go on Spotify and they're just like so many playlists for you to use that you don't even have to search anything. They took search power away because they provided, right? You got to consider that. Looking how you have to pay to access this because we thought this was powerful when it was just a library like iTunes. They upgraded iTunes, made it look good, and pushed it as a product for people to purchase.
Thank you. Speak on it, please, because that transition period is not talked about enough. Please.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's the thing. That's why we entered this realm of music with streaming. That's why streaming's popping. And you got to remember, who was the golden child when they rolled out streaming? And that was Drake.
Driz.
Yup. 666. Him, right? Like that's the individual that they chose, and then they put a battery in his back.
The Joker.
I hate the lesson that he taught the culture because he taught black people. He basically taught black people that we can still be sold, and as long as the price is right, we're good. That's why I actually really hate Drake. He taught
that's
like,
a L.
He was trying to like put out a message for black people, like, oh, as long as the check is right, because every time you would hear about like a lot of his success, like okay, the numbers, but they always talked about his deals, the $400 million deals, everything. But it's because they were like the industry was trying to remind us like, yo, you're just a product. We can sell you how we want, and we just let them know the fuck you can. I hate when people are like, oh, we're not our ancestors. They didn't fight back. No, they fought the fuck back.
Yes.
They fought back. We're the ones that haven't been fighting back.
Right.
It's time for us.
You fight back nothing.
Like, don't disrespect our ancestors. That actually makes me so mad. Like
That's how you know someone doesn't know their history, though.
Exactly. That's the thing. Please don't ever
them.
disrespect my ancestors. They did the damn thing. Okay.
In Africa, they fought. In Caribbean, they fought. In America,
Yo,
they
shout out
fought
Steve.
everywhere.
Shout out
Even in
Steve.
Canada. Even in Canada.
Yeah.
Shout out to diaspora.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
See, I
Shout
hate
out
the
Speed,
diaspora
though.
one,
That
like,
dude
we all
breaking
on the
down
same page,
barriers for
ever.
you.
Bro, when I tell you, but again,
That's crazy.
honestly, how do I say this? My
That
biggest
show
concern
Speed is inspiration.
no,
It's
I
beautiful.
love that he's doing this, but I want y'all to know something because I haven't seen some discourse about like obviously I'm glad that the Western world is now realizing the beauty of Africa, but with that, there's still a lot of propaganda that's being spread out. Like I was telling Flex about this, but how do I say this? Like there's still its own like unrest within like Africa as a continent
Of
that
course,
we're now
everywhere.
about to be really exposed to. But I need y'all to understand that it's the result of the damage that the like colonization and even just like Western influence has placed on it. So
Mhm.
it's a beautiful country, but understand it's literally dying and in pain because of what we do over here. So
Mhm.
diamonds, like mining,
Mhm.
all
Right.
those little things. Like you know what I'm saying? I love my country so much. It's so beautiful, but we have been stripped of so much of that beauty. That one thing that I'm working with my family because we have a bit of property there now, and we're trying to do more. But every dime that I make out here, I'm trying to pour back into my country because I want to make sure that it flourishes because the beauty that it holds was taken away from us. And I know, I honestly, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that he's showing the beauty of it. But as you guys figure out the darkness, I hope you guys know like we need to be basically going back home in our own way, but supporting our roots.
Hmm.
That's what's up.
Right.
Yeah. So
Can I play my card?
go ahead, play your card, bro.
All right. So I gotta say that hip hop is more than just a music genre. It
Hmm.
is the spirit of the African North American experience.
This nigga done got it.
Beautiful.
Now, it has grown into a multicultural and very diverse
Yes.
self expression tool that has been exploited by corporate America in order to go ahead and piggyback off of natural and raw talent that
Talk.
is endlessly
Period.
produced. Now,
Get him.
it has become a gold mine, so much so that in the last 40, 50 years, it has been the number one grossing genre. If y'all don't stop making all that damn noise, I'm talking.
No, I love every time this thing got
So,
up
Oh,
in here.
man.
It's so funny.
so,
If you don't get your goddamn
so,
Boy, if you
and
don't.
that comes from being a black dad. I'm a black dad. You know what I mean? Like it just
Facts,
happens.
facts.
It
oh
just happens.
man.
But the way I see it, that ever since, and I'm gonna pinpoint it right now, and it's all gonna make sense. Ever since Run DMC, they have realized that they can commercialize this kind of sound and throw it anywhere, everywhere, and capitalize on the dollar,
Hmm.
on how it's rolled out, how it's pushed out, what's hot, who's not, and who's selling out the stores. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, we have a bunch of people who can be bought. There are souls that are out there that are being bought.
Yup.
Now, there are two people that we had
Preach.
brought up earlier, and these two people weren't bought necessarily,
Hmm.
but they did stay true to themselves and are endlessly making money. Now, this is where I give two of those people their credit. Who's the king of the club?
Future.
Future.
Hmm.
Now, who is the one person that has came up from a house of balloons and has massively impacted the world?
Hmm.
He ain't the ace though, but he's
Hmm.
definitely up there. This man can do no wrong. Any track that he gets on, it is now his track because of how talented he is. And that would be the weekend.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So anybody that pulls the weekend card is automatically given a top tier number one or whichever. The talent drives, but it is
Hmm.
also capitalized on. Don't necessarily believe that a feature from this artist makes you just as big as them. It
Yeah.
just means that you were talented enough or paid enough in order to get that person on to propel yourself to somewhere of success.
Hmm.
Now, this is the Jack. It ain't the Joker. I don't keep Jokers in my deck. I tossed those cards a long time ago. He's still in the royal
Yeah, we don't
family.
keep
He's still in
jokers
the
in the deck.
court. I don't keep Jokers in the deck. Only aces.
Mm.
And this right here, this dude was demoted when he used to be this.
Mhm.
Anytime, because he would pull on your heartstrings at all times. He would be like, "Oh, Drake, nostalgia," or, just hard hitting lyrics that would
Hmm.
really make you connect in a way that anybody who is lost would. So that's
Yeah.
what made Drake relatable because at that time when he came up, we were all lost too.
Hmm.
So it was easy to connect with him, and no matter what, he always has a piece of your heart somewhere, somehow. My song was November 18th. I love that, but I don't, not anymore. But
He definitely came out during people's like formative years. The problem is his growth honestly was stunted there. Like it's
He
the
plateaued.
equivalency of peaking in high school. Like he
Yeah, he
peaked at
plateaued.
that time because to me, I was in high school when he was at his
Hard,
greatest.
hard
So
plateau.
Mhm.
yeah, hard plateau. Like he just did not really grow lyrically or just as a person. That's why I'm like he was so stuck in that mentality that's why his core audience was
it's
primarily
only because it
teenagers for
sells.
a hot minute,
Facts.
and
It's
that's
only been
Yo,
a
different.
flat line.
It's only
yo,
because it
I
hasn't
sells.
always tell
it
people
hasn't
like
gone up.
the first time I
Yep.
listened to Views, I was like, yeah, like
That's
I
it.
don't like I'm
Yeah,
never
Facts.
for
listening to this guy
me.
Facts.
ever again. I'm not
Facts,
even
bro.
joking. It was
Yeah,
Views for me.
It was
And like,
views.
some of those
At the
songs are
end,
same.
cool, but as an album, I was like, hell
Yeah,
no. Like, what are we
at the end
talking
of the
about?
day,
This is not even real. Like,
at the end
exactly.
of the day, the music will always be judged in the way that it impacts the people, because no matter what,
Hmm.
we are the ones that determine the trend, what's cool, what's not, what's all
Exactly.
right, what's condemnable or praised.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, we need to take back our power, and we need to realize that not now but right now.
Mhm.
Yes.
Real
Yeah.
shit.
So I want to move on because like we're almost done. Like there's really just like a
Yeah.
couple more points, but they're all like molded together in a sense.
I
So
think
Yeah.
J Tom was maybe gonna like
oh,
throw
Jay,
something,
you
but
want to go? So
Oh,
I'll,
and I
I'll let J
definitely want to
Tom
make
go
sure
because
Yeah.
I
we gotta
have
like we gotta finish up.
guys.
We're coming up with like
Okay.
2 hours.
So I got to take off, and I just wanted to leave y'all with something.
Okay.
Hmm.
So piggybacking off of what King Hammer, not Hammer, King Hammer said.
Hmm.
um, I think that if an artist needs to take off, they need to create their own style, and they do need to impact. They need to create an impact. If you create an impact, man, you'll be in a class on your own.
Mhm.
Kendrick Lamar, class on his own.
Hmm.
Eminem, class on his own. He's a guest in the house, or not a guest, but like I would say
no, he's a guess.
he yeah, okay, yeah, he's a guest
But
in
he
the
can
house.
rap. But
Well,
he can rap.
okay,
You rap though.
so create your own style, and you will beat anybody that tries to come after the crown. You will beat anybody that is trying to go past you and try to how do you say that? My Spanish is trying to take over my thoughts. Okay. So basically try to go over and okay, here we go. My bad.
Are you good?
um
Say it,
if
let it out.
you yeah, so if you create your own style,
Hmm.
nobody will be able to take you from what you are doing.
Yes.
Nobody will be able to take your style because you
Hmm.
created it first.
Oh my God, yes.
Nobody will You'll be in a category all on your own.
Hmm.
And if you do that, you'll be on top of everybody. Pause.
Absolutely.
That's why I brought
Oh,
up
That's
Doom.
all.
That's why I
man, J
brought up
Tom,
Pause,
thank you.
Doom.
And
acknowledge.
Like
that's
I
Fact.
and
It's a
that's
fact.
for all of my Z team. Pause.
Mhm.
There's no AO with that. All right.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
and
I'm
before
out.
you go, wait, before you go, I
Peace
really
out, J
also wanted
Yeah.
Tom.
to share with you, oh, J Tom, before you go, because I really liked what you were talking
Right.
about, just kind of like learning from people who are more skilled than you. It's about learning about the foundations. I wanted to make sure that you have a chance to listen to like the two Toronto artists that I have been working with for some time. I've been working with them for like 4 or 5 years, one of them like maybe even longer. But for them, as mentioned, I like music that's very timeless and you can feel nostalgic as you're listening to it. So the first one, his name is Stills, spelled SILLVZ, sorry. And my favorite EPs by him are Ill Hall. Those ones, I would say, within the last 3 years, with everything that I'm working on with my YouTube, that was something that was regularly in rotation because, as you're saying, it's about knowing what it is you want to do, sitting in your identity and like going for it. And that's exactly what that album embodies. So really good one, and personal favorite was Sincerely Yours. It's just very sweet. But that's the first one, and bro, I've been trying to see him for 2 weeks, but it's just so hard because as I said, he's someone. My artists are the ones that really focus on their craft. Like he's been in that fucking studio regularly, and that's why as much as I haven't seen him in 3 years. That's why I've been trying to see him like within the last 2 weeks. But I don't care because I know he's working on himself and thereby working on his art and craft. The other one, this was where I really like what you meant like about identity and kind of finding yourself because he's been my favorite for a while. I'm gonna be a little bit biased. I've done like promo videos for him, and one of my favorite songs by him is Heartless Whiner. He is Caribbean, so he's from Trinidad. And when I tell you that was the song where I felt his origins, but also because he's lived in Canada for some time, but he was able to tie in like Toronto R&B fusion. Like it was beautiful. So his name on he had a couple of name changes, but if you want to listen to Heartless Whiner, you can look up his name right now is Reign Forever. Reign spelled R-E, like like a reigning king. Like that's how it's spelled. And then sorry, I have the notes, but I can't seem to find it. But and then if you do like what or if you want to see what Toronto R&B can be like, just Toronto R&B, he's been doing a little bit of like singles and features, but he did an EP with another Toronto artist by the name of Tyrex. When I tell you, it's called Love Cost Me Everything. Oh my god, like it is what I believe Toronto R&B can be. So I really wanted to make sure I spend some time to promote these two because they've been working so hard on their craft. And I think that within this like renaissance that we're in, I really hope that they become part of the voice of Toronto.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So
I'm
I'll
gonna check
also
them out.
send their info like their stuff in the Discord chat. Like I'm not kidding, like they're my favorites.
All right.
All
There
right.
you have
Awesome.
J Tom, before you
Well,
go, you want to tell these folks on how support is free?
it. Let them know.
oh
That
yeah,
part,
support is
that
free.
part.
I
Support
mean,
is
how? Because
100%
I
free.
like the way that you say it on
How?
your videos.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you
When
mean?
they violate the
Oh yeah, go ahead and violate that like button. Also the subscribe button.
yeah, there
That's
it
fire.
is.
And
That's fire.
and if you guys are watching this after, use all of your hype points to hype this up so everybody else could see this too.
I
All
know
right.
that's right.
And
You know what to say.
this video, even though I'm taking off, is gonna be on my platform and everybody else's platform. So
Yes.
that way you guys can go ahead and check it out as well.
Mhm.
I am
Out
dipping. Again, support is free. Go ahead and hit that like button. So peace out.
Peace out, J
Be
Tom.
blessed.
Brother.
Thank you.
Ya
Be
tu
blessed.
sabes.
Yes, ya
Peace,
tú
brother.
sabes.
You heard
Tú
them.
sabes.
Sabe.
So, all right, let's go ahead and
Right
finish up
on.
because at this point, I'm loving that you guys are talking about the artists.
Is
'Cause the
Flex
final
muted?
point pretty much is the artist, starting with
Yeah.
style.
It look like Flex is muted.
Am I? There's no way I'm muted. Am
No, I
muted?
can hear him.
I can hear him.
I'm
I
about to
can't
say,
hear
you
him
got
for
me
some reason.
bugging right now, bro. Hold on.
No, I can hear you still.
I ain't changed nothing. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I can hear him too.
So going
Oh,
back to the
there goes some
artist.
cats fighting outside my door.
Nah, you good, bro. That's how it be sometimes.
Somebody
bro.
losing.
Like you got all kinds of theatrics over
Cat
there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I legit can't hear. Even my cat just came up to the door like, what the hell going on out there?
All right, but finishing up though, talking about
I know,
artists,
buddy.
we started with style. So
Yeah, I can't hear Flex.
damn.
Can you hear me? Can you hear anyone?
I can hear you.
You can
I
hear
can
me.
hear you.
Oh,
I can
Yeah,
hear
nobody
NK. I really can't hear Flex, and I don't know if she's talking.
I haven't talked for a while, but can you hear me
Oh,
now?
okay.
so he
It's
can't
just
hear
Flex.
you.
I just can't hear Flex. I don't know if he muted himself.
Even through
I
StreamYard,
can
you
hear
can't hear
Flex
me.
fine.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, we can hear
Oh,
him. Though.
weird.
Maybe I have to leave and come back.
Chat, can you hear him?
Probably.
Maybe.
I swear I was doing good. I never changed anything.
Yeah,
so-
no, I'm
Yeah,
deaf.
Hector,
Put them kids in bed.
Maybe J Tom leaving affected it somehow. I don't know.
right?
That's
Dude,
weird. What?
that's
This is
wild.
the basic plan
This
because
man
we're
was
not paying for the
piggybacking
full.
off J Tom.
Yeah, he's over there having at it too.
Oh, wait.
Did he probably mute himself? Oh wait, no.
Try leaving and
Nah.
coming
Y'all
back?
said y'all can hear him, right?
Yeah.
I can hear him, yeah.
All right. Tell him I said I'll be right back into the room.
I can
He
hear
said
you.
he's
Don't worry, we can hear you.
Never mind,
You
he can
can't-
hear
You're
you.
the only one who can't hear him.
Yeah.
Oh,
This ain't
But I
right.
want to know what he's saying.
Okay, so you go come back. You may be able to hear him in a bit.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen, like
good.
I said, we broke. Right?
This isn't the premium. Sorry,
Y'all
guys.
For
see the
now.
watermark? We're not
For
the company
My
now.
man.
Mr. Beast.
All
I
right, we're not that
apologize.
guy. We're a bunch of small
For
creators.
now.
So I want to get that out the way. We broke for
Nothing
real.
wrong with
Listen,
that.
but
Nothing
we're
wrong
not
with
broke
that.
forever. For
Not forever.
now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we building basically. We building.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Support your people.
I always say speak life into yourself. Even don't ever let yourself build doubt into your mind. I don't know if y'all believe in evil eye, but for me, you can give yourself evil eye by having doubt in yourself. So yeah, we broke, but
Hey, I
for
was just telling a
now.
joke.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you a joke.
I'm
I
just
won't
telling a
tell you a
joke.
lie.
Like, I can't joke now. That's wild. Like,
I might
Dead.
tell
See
you
the
a joke, but
watermark
I'll
and they're
never
like,
tell you a lie.
you know what I'm
Even to
saying? Like
myself.
they see the water, but like I don't know. Like, oh.
you can't sit with us.
Yeah. If you won't speak life into yourself, I'll speak life into you. So you might be broke before
Holy.
now.
All right, let's
Dead.
finish this up, man.
Mhm.
No, like I said, the artists. We're gonna finish up with the artists. One thing, because I think J. Tom said it earlier, how he stopped listening to radio.
Mhm.
We gotta listen to the radio again. If I'm gonna be honest with y'all, cause streaming don't pay them, but radio do. So for the artists, we need to show them that radio is popping, so that they can find their way onto the radio, so they can get the plays that they need. Right? That's one source. Like at this point, we're gonna be talking about like the kind of business behind what artists can do, whether if you're on a label or if you're indie or DIY, right?
Mhm.
So you got to consider what kind of sources or what kind of resources that you can utilize to kind of push your music, right? Because when we talked about everything that we talked about, going back to like the little timeline that we pretty much displayed throughout this whole like live,
Mhm.
a lot of artists that will watch this, they can get a better understanding of how they can sell to their fan base. But before you even sell to your fan base, you need a fan base. And before you get your fan base, you need your character, which falls into style.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right? These are the things that you got to build up so that you can be that individual for your city, for your town, wherever you are. But you got to understand that since the landscape has changed, you also got to change with it as well. Right? So
Adaptability at the end of the day. Like,
yeah. So going to NK now, I want to see if he can piggyback off of what I said and continue the conversation.
So just so more so based on like, the artist and like how kind of how like what they could take advantage of,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah. Definitely, I agree with you in the sense that like, yeah, I think overall, as artists, we, there's opportunity out there. And I think even when it comes to something like radio, like I think what people need to do is understand who they are and understand who likes the type of stuff that they do.
yes,
Because not everything is for everybody, right?
of
That's the
course.
other piece. Even when I think of myself, I'm like the type of music I make is not for the clubs. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I know myself well enough. I know the type of music I like and that I produce. So I understand, the type of people that like the type of stuff I listen to will be into like Lupe Fiasco or
Yeah.
MF Doom or like some of the artists that I've mentioned already. So I'm kind of trying to target, that realm of kind of the hip hop sphere, right?
Yes.
And that even extends to like even the Coles and Kendricks and stuff like that too, for people that just like bars, right? Because hip hop fans generally like many different artists, right? Sometimes, I know a lot of people that like music that's very lyrical, but then they also like music that's very playful and like
Yeah.
satirical even as well. So I think like there's a lot of different angles that artists can take. But I think the number one thing, and I think this is something we've touched on today, is work on your craft first and
Yes.
foremost. And then the second thing is the marketing and figuring out like,
That's my
who
lane.
who likes the type of and even with the word marketing, it's like it's really just about finding your base, right? It's just about
Yes.
finding, who likes the type of
That's
stuff
the
you like.
simplest part, but it can get a little.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. it gets complicated, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, people have to at least have it in mind instead of like, making music and maybe you just put it on social media or you put it on YouTube or whatever, and it's not doing what you want it to do because you haven't really planned around that. You haven't really like strategized around that.
Mhm.
And also I think a lot of people are, speaking on the whole like direct to consumer shift that I think should be happening, is that I think a lot of people a lot of artists need to move away from only fixating on social media and also think about just real life. You know what I mean? Like, are you performing in the places that it makes sense for you to perform? Are you signing up for those festivals that happen every year? And if you are signing up for those festivals, are you
Mm-hmm.
performing at the festival that's right
Yes.
for the type of music you make? There's a lot of different festivals that artists can sign up for, and it's not as hard as you would think to get onto those festivals as well. Maybe if it's like a Coachella or something, that's a different conversation. But even then, it depends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have those smaller stages, whatever. Like, so I think and I think on top of that, artists need to be okay with starting from ground zero. Like, I've had
Yes.
conversations where, because even though I'm like a very small indie artist, I've gotten some traction like in the past. So because of that, like I've been on like panels and stuff, and then I've had like younger artists come up to me and be like, yo, like, how do you get on? Or like, they're like asking me these type of questions. And I'm like, and that usually the things I'll say is like, first and foremost, what is your music? You know what I mean? Like the first thing you said to me was about how to get on, but you didn't tell me about your music. Like, what are you actually
Mm-hmm.
making? What is the meaning behind what you're making? Does it even stand out? Is it even quality? Is it even well
Mm-hmm.
produced? Is it mixed well? Like a lot of artists don't like have a lot of talent, but the music isn't even mixed well. Find somebody that is a good producer that works well for your style, or learn the skills yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That takes time. Like even myself, like since high school, I've been producing and rapping since high school. I'm in my mid 30s now. I just turned 34 in December.
Nice. Yeah.
So and I'll say this with as a fact, it wasn't until I was about 29, 30 that I felt like, oh shit, I know what I'm doing now. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like and that's the reality of a craft, is like it takes time, it takes a lot of work. So people trying to like create these shortcuts and find ways to like get in without doing the amount of work necessary, it might work, right? Maybe one in a billion, one in a million artists, you might get that push or whatever, but it's not going to last long, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many artists do we talk about that weren't that talented and got a huge push, and we don't talk about them anymore, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
an infinite list of artists. So even speaking to that whole impact conversation, it's like artists need to realize that, like, at the end of the day, it's still about music. It's still about making quality, good music. If you hear a Michael Jackson song off Thriller or whatever, you think, oh, this sounds good. That is the fundamental basis you need to reach. And then from there, you talk about marketing. And then from there, you build all this other stuff. And that's how it should work. But anyways, generally speaking, I think, yeah, artists just need to be more deliberate, about what they're doing, and more conscious of like understanding who they are, how that shows up in their music, and then you can figure out, okay, who wants to listen to this. And there's always going to be
Mm-hmm.
somebody. There are people that are right now listening to noise as music
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Absolutely.
just static, and it's called experimental whatever. And there are
Mm-hmm.
people going to shows to listen to somebody on stage with a bunch of gear with just static noise, and they have a
Mm-hmm.
market and they tour the world. So if you have any talent whatsoever, you can do this, but you just have to be
Yes.
very careful. You have to be, and that doesn't mean it's easy. It's extremely difficult. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to have some perseverance. You have to have some confidence, but planning, I think, is also a major
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. It's
component
the
of that,
planning part.
a lot of artists tend not to be good at that. And I
And
and I
that's fine.
understand that as an artist myself, because but then find help, right? There are marketing firms, there are people that do marketing. Go to
MK,
find a
can I do a
school.
selfless plug real quick? As because like you're actually tying into exactly what my channel is about, just real quick. But like
Go ahead.
considering like this is actually gonna be my last thoughts. I'm probably gonna cut after
Mhm.
this, but we've
Yeah.
talked a lot about gatekeeping culture as well as history. So for anyone who does like that sort of thing, and if you like Hamilton the musical, I have something cooking that I'm really excited to like present. But more importantly, if you're ready to start a journey on personal development and how to hone your craft by extension yourself, definitely tune into my brain scratch segment, because that's where I'll be teaching you how to do that. I've been
Mm,
writing since I was 13. I'm pushing 30, and I can confidently say that I've banished my writer's block. And to the point where while you were talking this entire time, I was writing out this exact thing that I was saying because it just came to me. But all that to
mm,
say, at the end of the day, I believe that education shouldn't have a paywall. And much like J Tom said, support is free. I want to support y'all, and I don't want you to worry about money like being a factor for that support. We are a community, and I want us to start acting like one. So I loved everything that you were saying, but that's because you did summarize everything that I was thinking while we were talking. So that's what I want you guys to have a mentality of when you enter my channel. Everything that I put there is education, whether you like music, whether you like books or whatever. I'm trying to teach people in a way that they understand. So whatever you feel called to, just watch the video. You might learn something, but that's the point of my entire channel. It's to educate and to make sure that you can do it without having to worry about money being a factor.
mm. That's a
But
W.
anyways, I do actually got to cut. But thank you so much for allowing me in this space. Like it's been great. But hope you guys have a good night.
Yeah,
Do what
enjoy
you
Appreciate it.
gotta
yourself.
do. Take care. Take
Dropping
care.
wisdom.
Of course, thank you. It was fun.
Stay warm and stay blessed.
Alright.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you. They finally cleared out the roads. But I'm still not touching anywhere until like maybe Saturday.
Oh, you're lucky.
Fair,
They're not here yet. They haven't come here yet.
fair.
No, it took all day for them to come. But y'all
Mhm.
stay safe.
You have a good
Take
one.
it easy. But yeah, but that's my general point. Like that's it. Artists just need to, like understand yourself, but also understand the landscape, right? And how to navigate it based on who you are and based on what makes sense for you. Because you also can't replicate what somebody else is doing.
That's true.
Because everybody, again, like imagine me who makes the type of music I make, trying to come up off somebody that makes like, you know, poppy music. It doesn't make sense, right? So because I understand what I do, I also understand that like, that's not what I'm interested in, and the people that listen to my kind of music also aren't interested in that. So
Mhm.
how do I market myself or like show up in a way that makes sense for what I do and that niche and that style? But anyways, that's all I gotta
Nah,
say on
you
that.
you listen. You got that down to a T. If I'm gonna be real, the only thing I need to add to that is that artist needs to remember. Also, even consumer, it's 10% music and artistry, but 90% marketing. You can put together the greatest rap song in the world. If you don't know how to market it, it's not gonna do anything. Depending on what you want as an artist. That's the thing. When you're an
Mhm.
artist, you have to remember you need to set your roadmap from the jump. This ain't
Yes.
something where it's like I'll figure it out on the way. That's not happening no more. That's what's going on with this shift. It got
Mhm.
that idea out of here. You need to know from the jump, regardless of if you want to go into the industry or do it yourself. You need to know what you need, what you desire, what your goal is. Where do you want your music to go? Where do you want to hear your music when you're just randomly rolling by?
Yeah.
Right? That's the things you got to consider. If you go the industry route, you need to know it like the back of your hand. You need to know what all these deals mean and all these little details under these deals and how you could get lost in different puzzle pieces trying to put together your roadmap to
Yeah.
success under this house. It's not an easy job. Or if you want to do it yourself, you need to learn how they work. You got to learn how to learn the industry works, and then you got to figure out your own path away from this, but you still want to elevate depending on what you want, like I said. But it's not easy. But the big thing about it is that the marketing is going to guide you. I remember NK, when we have our conversations in the voice chat, you're telling me about your marketing plan and then how long that took. Right? That's not an easy thing to put together because
Still not done.
you see what I'm saying? It's not an easy thing. The knowledge comes into play now when it comes with the music. It's not brain rot music anymore. All right? It's not gone, it's not out of here, but it's pushed to the side now. You can
That's the
tell
important
by
part.
the kind of albums that we've been getting throughout 2025. If you want to throw J. Cole in there in 2026, by all means. Me personally, my point is though.
Can we get into that? Can we get into that? Because I got a card to play on that one.
Maybe at the end. Maybe
yeah, because at the end we're gonna talk about the future, but we're literally almost there because we touched on what the artists need. We touched on different products. Like, mind you, I don't know if people know the sales on vinyls, like vinyl records, went up again this year.
Yeah.
Vinyls are going crazy. Artists needs to learn how to put this on vinyls. Where do I go to get them pressed? Right? Vinyls are going crazy. CDs are making a comeback. We might see the CD stores come back into play now. They tried their hardest to get them out of here. It's the same thing going on with it's similar to the movie industry as well, because even the physicals there are making a comeback too. So you got to consider that as well. There's a lot of changes happening with this shift. We touched on a lot of it throughout this live stream. So at this point, what we do is that we focus on the future now. What does the future look like? And then King Hammer, that's when you can go ahead.
No, we got a Hammy cameo. He just
man. I didn't even notice that. I'm like, what is that ring
Shout out
on your beard?
Spider-Man.
He's getting his paper airplane. I apologize.
No worries, man. No worries. Let him live.
Right?
That's my boy. But no, I approve of vinyls being pressed and produced because, you know, not in the sense that we're getting older. It's just that I would rather spend money on a vinyl than a CD. And at the end of the day, if I know that if the proceeds are going to the artist and their production of their work, their media, you know, their harder work and all that, I would rather. Boy, what are you still doing here?
Oh,
yes. No, you can't show them right now. I'm in the middle of a whole conversation point, and you over here interrupted. I told you to stay over there, didn't I? No, all right, yes, they see your airplanes and your green shirt.
Nice airplane.
No, you put that together real good, Doc. Yo, you're a good youth. Remember that.
See, they said it looks real nice. Now go back on over to the couch now. Daddy's over here in the middle of a discussion. I told you to stay over there.
We almost done.
Dude.
That boy trying to stand on business. Like, where my turn
like
at,
I said, black dads. Keep that ace up your sleeve.
But, I mean, I ain't got no kids, but you know.
Nah. Don't worry. You're going to be babysitting soon. Trust me, we're going to come up to Toronto. I'm dropping them off.
No, sir.
I'm dropping them off. You're going to be dad of the weekend. You're going to be like, oh, man, I see. But, like, the thing is that if I'm seeing that these artists are actually investing their time and money into putting it into a vinyl, I would rather that than buying a CD, because that means that they're firm and they're very in tune with the fact that they know that this piece of work is able to be sold as a vinyl. And it prompts me more to want to listen to it, because if it's on a record player, obviously it means that it has something to say or something to decode in it. And a lot of art does, you know, it's not decodable anymore. You're not able to look within the lines anymore. You know, all of it's usually just within, you know, just a glance. Like at first glance, you now understand everything that you needed to see, instead of going back to it and finding all the little pieces that connect it together, that sends that secret message. That, you know, it's hard to appreciate nowadays music if it isn't challenging your intellect. That's why I'm dubbing this era that we are in right now, this shift, as the intellectual era. We need to get back to that, because we need to fill our glasses back up. We need to cup our souls right now. And right now, we've only got a taste. and I'm very, very excited to see where hip hop goes from here on. Because yeah, I mean J. Cole, he's on thin ice, but you can't be talking tough. You gotta address a lot of things before you sit there and claim that throne.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to do in order to claim that
That's
throne.
true.
He's got
Very
to make up
true.
for lost time. He's got to be able to show and prove. He's got to be able to stand on it and not fall for another one of those Joker's tricks, because right now he went from this to this.
Quick.
Tragic.
And
Once.
now the thing is that what I was mentioning earlier, Jacks are always going to be in the royal court. The problem is they are only meant for entertainment, not to be taken serious.
The gesture.
Hey, bro. All I'm saying is that he better be careful before he turns into a 10.
I mean, that's the thing. He's on that thin ice.
Yeah.
Super thin ice.
But yeah, no,
So that's
future.
all I wanted to add in regard to that.
Yeah, but
But
like,
I agree with NK. I agree with Light. I agree with you. Like art definitely needs a step in the right direction,
mhm.
because if not, we might be regressing.
Yeah,
Not looking too good.
that's how it be. But nah, future's bright, man. We just need to hone in now. Like I know Josh in the comments he was saying like a lot of these artists do not get that kind of spotlight. They do not get that kind of shine, which is why Dolce's been getting so much hate.
Mm-hmm.
We have to evolve as the consumer now. Like a lot of times we're used to, like I said earlier, when it comes to Spotify playlists, we don't search anymore because those playlists are on the home screen in our
Yep.
faces saying, play us. We made this for you. It took away the power to search. We need to take that back. We need to be able to just go on, whether it's our phone, laptop, type in whatever we want. Go to Release Radar, New Music Friday Canada. There are playlists out there y'all can go to. Instead of clicking on the playlist on the home screen, go find them. There's ways to find music. It's just that you got to do the work now. We've been chilling for years on our phones, just home screen, tap, tap, tap,
That's it.
and then going through the playlist, seeing what they made for us. Not anymore.
Nope.
We're more than able to make our own, but we got to take that extra step now.
It's the initiative. A lot of
Yeah.
people are not willing to go outside of their comfort zones.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't willing to go ahead and explore and hit up SoundCloud or Mixer X or something like that. Like there's not a lot of places that people are ready to get out of that comfort zone because they're so afraid of the rejection of the norm, the consensus. The consensus, if they're not saying that something is hot or something is like this is dope or that's cool or anything like that, then they're not going to want to listen to it, because now they're uncool, or they're so afraid of standing on their island and turning it into a mountain.
Mm.
So, with, artists like NK, the people that are, either, trying to make their names heard on like Amazon Music, SoundCloud, anywhere, any of the main platforms of where you can search and stream music, they're putting themselves out there, but a lot of people are afraid to find them because they just don't know how other people would perceive them if they were listening to it either in the car, in the club, strolling through the mall or something like that. They don't know how they would feel. Like I have this dope artist that I listen to named Mac Mall, and he's dope. He has a song called My Opinion, and it's different. He made it years ago. My homeboy put me on to him, but I would have never known who Mac Mall was. Never. But he raps good. He's solid. But the thing, it's just you got to be ready or willing to give a listen. But with the Titans, with the mountains that are waiting to drop whatever they want on us, we're waiting for that.
Yeah.
But to fill in the gap, all we have to do is just explore, put out our thoughts and music. Like We all have platforms. We can all expose these people to different music and different genres and everything. But are they going to listen?
Mhm.
We're the wolves here. Remember.
Got to open up our ears.
No, I just don't ever want to be a sheep again. That's
That's about
all.
it.
That's I like how you said open up our ears, because it's funny because like I said, Doom is easily one of my favorite rappers. The first time I heard that shit, I was like, what the I was like,
Doom is
what is this?
crazy. Oh my god.
Changed your life.
What is this? I was so confused. And then the second time I listened to it, I heard like accordion off like Mad Villainy, and I was like, oh, okay. And then then I started to like understand the language. And that's the other thing, is like, when it comes to music, is like we have to be willing to be patient again with
Mhm.
music,
Exactly.
because I think, and this speaks to the whole delayed gratification versus instant. I think we're so used to instant gratification, which is why I think even a lot of music has gotten so much shorter. Like a lot of I've stumbled on music like in the past few years, and it's like the song's like a minute, and I'm like, this could have at least been
That minute
2:30,
30.
3 minutes. Like, come on,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
It's the attention span.
And I
The
get
reason,
that,
yeah,
but I think we have to like retrain ourselves out of that to a certain degree, because there's so much phenomenal music that like takes time to like understand, or like takes
yeah,
time to process, and I think
that's
we move
why
into
the turn up era damaged this
Mm.
new intellectual era already, because now we are expecting music to not only vibe but to also have some substance. But if the substance isn't enough, we're not going to hear out the rest of it, because it's like, yo, this is a waste of time, even though that there could be a very good message or a very good story behind it, or a lesson to be learned from it.
Mhm.
Our attention spans have been so not rotted away, but I'll say
Regress.
sensitized,
Mhm.
Mhm.
to where we don't even like, after, if the beat doesn't match, if the lyrics aren't hitting, like it's a culmination of so many things.
Mhm.
If one thing is off, we don't want it anymore.
Right away, yeah.
You have to stick it through. You have to just give it a playthrough, like just like how we would give GNX. As soon as GNX came out, we were like, yeah, let's go.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But you have to have that same energy for any body of work that you come across, because it might just be another GNX. It might just be another Illmatic. It might just be another uh, Reasonable Doubt.
Mhm.
Any, it's up to us to figure that out and to actually just dive in. As long as we
Mhm.
open our ears and close our mouths,
That's a
the
fact.
music will move on its own.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then
And to be fair to the consumers, I'm just gonna say this really quickly.
yeah.
I think as artists too, we have to be willing to take feedback, and also willing to grow artistically, because I
Yeah.
think a lot of artists get very complacent with
Mhm.
like, oh, this is just the type of music I make, and then when people don't like it, then it's, oh, you just didn't understand what I was trying to do, because blah blah. And it's like, if people didn't like it, sometimes they just didn't like it, and it just wasn't your best album, and that's okay. But like, I think people have to be willing to just be like, okay, this wasn't my best album. I'll get them next time, But
I feel
it's
that
complex. Yeah.
I feel that feedback is sometimes one-sided, because they want you to sound a certain way for them to perceive it the way that they see you.
It's
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
shaky thing. It's a
It's a
shaky
very
thing.
shaky
It's very
ground.
shaky.
Murky.
But that's the
And
thing. I think as artists, you have to know how to take. You have to understand which feedback is actually worth absorbing and which
Yeah.
is worth ignoring. A lot of it is you don't have to fucking
yeah,
ascribe to at all, and then a lot of it you should probably take it into account. But it depends. It's
Just to hear
case by
the
case.
perspective.
one thing a lot of these artists are missing is the fact that they need to grab your attention. They don't need to, whisper and say, hey, come on over here, this is what we're all listening to. No, they say, hey, you listen up and you listen good. This is what I got to say, and not now, but right now you gonna understand it.
Mhm.
And that right there is what makes and breaks the artist, because it's either I like the message or I don't. I understand the message
Mhm.
or I don't get it, because they're either not mature enough or can't see from your side, from your point of view. That's why for the album or for however you do, you have to world build as you go. You world build, you tell your stories, you tell your lessons, you warn, you give warnings. One of the main things that made all the greats great is the warnings that they gave us. Hey, this is going to be in your path one day. Move like this and you'll be all right. Guess what? We probably didn't move that way because they're like, whatever. They're just saying something just to make me feel a certain way. Like, I'll give you a prime example. The one hip hop track that I know everybody is scarred by, Dance with the Devil by Moto Technique. I was 9 years old.
9 is crazy. 9 is insane.
I was 9 years old.
9
and I never wanted to be in that world ever.
Yeah.
I was at least 14 when I heard that. 9.
My dad
God,
said,
damn.
look, boy, you gonna listen and you gonna listen good. This is the world that your friends is all in. You don't belong there. And you don't need to be there. You need to be like me, or you just need to be you. And I was like, yes, sir. I'm good. I'm all right. Billy ain't, nope. I don't need no, no. But it's those types of songs that will make you, because look at Immortal Technique now. He's not talked about. He's not even in any kind of regular conversation. Probably half the chat is probably like, who? Who that? Go listen to Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique and understand that y'all really don't know hip hop like we do.
It's true.
Hip hop is definitely something very special, and it resonates through all of us, and we all have stories to tell. We all have warnings and lessons to try to give, and we all have fun and good times to be had. But there's also a lot of pain behind it. And if that isn't all a world building experience, then your music won't sell. Your music won't get to where you want it to be unless that substance, that subject matter, or just that impact or the message is conveyed correctly. So at the end of the day, it's all about what you say, how you say it, and who you're saying it to. And eventually, once it reaches the right person, it blows right up.
Remember, this is your weapon. You gotta train this.
Gloria.
Yup, facts.
This one's mine.
That's crazy.
Gambit.
All right, Gambit. All right, Lightwalker, you got some?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's getting to a point, to put it bluntly, where we're in the industry is getting rid of the artists that want this for clout, that want it for money, and I could speak to Toronto being a prime example of that. Whereas people look at music or media, for example, and they look at it as a quick come up, right? To the point where it's like, okay, yeah, we can blow up off of here. Even I'll put influencing into that as well. It's like I could just blow up of doing off of this and that. And I don't care about the art or the art form. I care more about clout. I care more about what it can do for me, right? And what money I can get from it. And that's short-term thinking, but it's also not leading with intention, not leading with purpose, right? So we were talking about it earlier, where we need these artists to get back to a point where it's okay, let's think about what type of music I want to make. Let's think about the type of image I want to present. Let's think about the type of message I want to push and the eras that I want to create with my music. And artists ain't even thinking about none of that. They're like, trying to go off TikTok and let's
especially from Toronto.
That's a big. And here's the thing: I know so many people. Bro. I know so many people like who have done music personally, and they're just pumping out music, no plan, right? Just hoping that something sticks. Which I get it. That's what we have to do as an artist. But you'll know that like some of these people may even have good music in their catalog, and they're wasting potential bangers, potential music that can hit, because you're not thinking about the marketing, right? And a lot of the times, depending on the artist, you're not leading with intention. There's no plan, and you can kind of see it's just them hoping for the best. Well, it doesn't work that way, right? We know the labels. We know it's all.
I don't mean to cut you, but me, you, NK, we gotta have our own series with just Toronto music. We gonna talk. we gonna talk.
I was gonna
Bro,
say I'm
I
not speaking
swear.
on this.
The way
I
DJ
swear.
said, especially Toronto, I'm like,
This is a whole
bruh.
series itself, bro. I
Telling
swear.
you, it's a whole universe.
We gotta
bro.
start our own series. It's gonna be adjacent from this. It's gonna be Canada strictly, and we gonna talk music in Canada because when
so
I
bad.
say
It's
we
different
are
out here,
cooked,
Hammer. Trust me. Bro.
y'all don't even understand. Okay.
So bad. It's so bad.
All right, continue.
No, you get me though, because it's the fact that we could even say we could do a series off of it. That's how bad it is, and then
Yeah.
that's just unique because Toronto, it's unique. This happens everywhere, right? But it's Toronto, it's its own uniqueness, and it's its own like 20 steps backwards, right?
Uniquely bad.
We can have this issue in America,
Wait.
but you guys have hope because you know
It's
the
different.
artists are gonna come.
and
from
that's
yours.
the root of it. Yeah.
That's the root
It's
of the
not
thing.
even
Look
just
at
that.
Toronto.
In
Who we got
America,
leading us?
y'all have this like ideal like OGs.
Yes.
Our OGs are somewhere where we cannot find them.
No. And the real ones, the ones that we should be listening to, they ain't on the platforms.
Nope.
Right? They're not going to be the most popular because they don't have the clout, right?
Nope.
The 40K subscribers that are not earned. I don't care.
That's
right?
another
Like,
thing, though. They rather look at the social media and then the music.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
we gonna talk. We gonna do our own thing. Like
For sure.
Toronto
I
talk. Some I don't know, but yeah, we gonna do that.
I think that if Toronto wanted to make it more on the map, they would have to come up with something universally sound. Now, you have to think if this is all right. This is coming from a dude that was born in Queens. I'm only about 15 minutes away from the birthplace of hip hop, which is the Bronx.
Facts.
All right. Now, it happened, of course, because DJ Kool Herc spun 2 tracks together for his sister's party, and bam, hip hop was created. You got beats, DJs, hip hop, graffiti, and mainly barbecues. Now, if Toronto was to mix their customs, their outings, their meetups, their, let's say, sports, let's say public venues, very important public venues, and shoot music videos, controversial music videos about what's going on in Toronto, how it's relatable from an aspect of different countries, whether it be Spain, whether it be, Venezuela, whether it be Thailand. They would all be able to relate to not only the sound, but to the appeal of how it is to not be an American superstar. And then from there on, the relatability is what Toronto is lacking, or not Toronto, what Canada is lacking. It's the relatability, because, the way that Americans look at it, they're going to see it as, oh, this is basically Diet Coke to us. And then that's not fair to y'all, because y'all actually have some real talent out there. Y'all actually have some people that are pushing the bar and making it happen. The problem is that they're not being taken seriously as artists in America. So stop looking towards America for the influence. Look at the rest of the world. Look at the rest of how other people are doing it in France, how other people are doing it in Britain, how other people are doing it in Europe. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason that K-pop should be bigger than Canada hip hop. No reason. I'm sorry. I personally believe. I personally believe. But K-pop is literally Asian hip hop.
No.
You see what he said? You see what he said, though?
I don't disagree.
You see what he said?
I don't disagree. Hold on, let me get this. I don't disagree with you, but watch this, because we looked into this on my channel. When it comes to like K-pop or music out there, they have a system that is so solidified for artist programs, putting artists into specific places for them to be successful. It is so perfect out there That's exactly why K-pop's over here.
Nah. I don't know about that. Cause I think like that's
Don't be
like
fake
on the
influence.
surface flex. But like cause I even know someone that is a fan of hip hop and they live in Japan,
Mhm.
and they've told me about how like whether it's K-pop or even like in Japan, like the industry there, it's a very similar divide in terms of like there's an underground
Mhm.
and then there's a mainstream, and the mainstream you have to be connected, you have to like you have to
Yeah,
be related to
that's what
people.
I'm focusing on though. I'm only focusing industry. I already know
Mm,
about the underground, but that's different from how this thing works.
mhm.
The
This
infrastructure.
system that they
I hear
have,
you. I hear you. I hear you.
it works, which is why
Mhm.
we know about Lisa, Rosie, Blackpink.
Mm.
That's the reason why they are here. They are halfway across the world,
I
and
get
it
what you're saying.
started
I get what
there.
you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
So
I get what
that
you're saying.
works.
Mhm,
We need to
mhm,
create that here.
mm.
But that's the
what we
problem,
need to
though.
do.
But
It's
that's
the
the problem.
relatability factor. That's all it is.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah,
what you
hard.
said though. Americans would have to, or to get to the point where they have faith in our artists and want to listen to that. Canadians don't even have that faith in their own artists
In their own
themselves.
artists.
That's the problem. Someone said the other day, because I'm in the film industry, someone made a good point. They were like, yo, there's a bad stigma around Canadian films. And it's
Mhm.
so bad because you can go to anyone and ask them, why don't you want to watch a Canadian film? Right?
Mm.
And they can give you a reason. But the idea is that people don't even want to watch it. And that's the stigma around Canadian film. I'm not taking that seriously.
You know what that reminds me of?
Right?
It kind of reminds me of the stigma that battle rappers have when it comes to making music. A lot of people, as soon as they know someone's a battle rapper and they
They're just
make
like,
music, they just assume it's gonna be bad. Some of
Yeah.
them make really good music.
Yeah.
To be fair, a lot
But
of
what
them
do you
do make really
appreciate?
bad music. However, that shouldn't just stop people from checking it out, because there are people that are very
Exactly.
talented. Mhm.
That's
It
the
shouldn't
problem.
stop you from taking in.
Exactly.
It shouldn't stop you from taking in what they're, putting out. Pause. But
Mhm.
it's just, I believe that people just have that stigma already placed within, because they're like, hey, if hip hop isn't coming from America, then what am I listening to it for?
Yeah, I'm not listening to it.
And I believe Canadian hip hop should at least be given a respect, or at least a playing field, like a position on the field. Because right now, no one's looking towards it. No one's looking
But that's the
for it.
thing. And I think this is what Lightwalker was speaking to. We have to respect it first.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
They
mean?
have to go outside the borders
Yeah.
to find the
Yes.
respect, then come
It's like
back
what
and
you
be like,
said.
yo, look what I built.
Like Drake.
You see how you
Like
said with
Drake.
the functions and the music and everything? We need
Facts.
unity first.
Drake
Yeah.
and
Identity, right?
Drake
We
and
gotta
the
get that.
Weeknd. Drake and the Weeknd are the only ones that show two sides of Canadian talent, and it's either gonna be the chameleon rapper, or
Sad.
the or basically the next Prince.
I hear what you're saying.
And that's the thing
So
with Drake. Oh, sorry, you're seriously.
at the end of the day, if we're only given those two examples, those are the only two things that we're expecting out of it. And if it's not coming close to those two names, and those two names are globally known now,
Of course.
if it's not that, then the expectations will never be met. That's why that stigma is alive. And I understand it, because I'm like, I can see that. I look at perspectives, and I do my best to be as unbiased as possible.
Yep.
But when it comes down to like the overview, a synopsis or a summary of it all, that would be how America would view Canadian music coming to America. It's like, hey, you're just trying to be this, or you're just trying to be that, or you're just trying to
And a lot
feel
of them
like
are.
this.
A lot of them, that's exactly what they're trying to
is the
do.
case too,
They're trying to emulate something that they see, instead of like digging
Instead of
deep
them being them.
Themselves. Finding their advantage.
So
Drake
it's up
being
to
the king of
someone.
that. Yeah.
It's up
He's
to
the biggest
someone. Exactly. Drake put a very bad light on Canada, because of the fact that he's trying to put so much emphasis on the six being the 6. And we get it. It's never going to be Compton. It's never going to be Queens.
Nah.
Hell
It's
no,
never
you
going to
crazy?
be It's never
That's
gonna
the
be,
problem.
Nah,
you
we
know.
could
But that's the
never.
thing with Drake putting that onto y'all. That was unfair
That's the issue.
because now y'all have to create a new space of respect.
Yes.
And this space needs to demand the respect, not just ask for it. You
I
can't
agree.
ask for it because the Six has been asking for it for
God.
years.
It's the wrong
Years. Like the Six can't even survive Mississippi, and that's saying a lot. You know,
Facts,
so
facts.
But
it's
that's the
just
problem. He made it
he
about
made it
that,
that. He
as
made
Yeah,
it.
opposed
he made
to
it that.
creatives, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Talents.
There
Right?
needs to
It's
be
just-
a new space that
That's the
needs to be respected completely.
Yes.
And right now, it is up to one of y'all
Mhm.
to create that space. And I believe that if y'all do that, just y'all speaking on about it, and then bringing up certain names, and of course, if you want me to guest feature on it, I'll do it and I'll listen to it, and then I'll sit there and give you my honest opinion.
Facts.
And if I say yay, like, hey, this is gonna be in the clubs, or this is gonna be in the car when she's dealing with a breakup, or this is gonna be in the car or in my headphones at the gym. It all depends on who is demanding that respect. And the thing is that respect needs to be built at home first.
Exactly.
Facts.
Exactly. And not centered around one dude.
One
like
Yo,
you
so
know,
yo,
like-
just that you said that.
1
Watch this
hour.
now. Remember what King Hammer said? It's The Weeknd and Drake. That's two.
Yep.
You can throw Tory Lanez in there if you want, but he locked up. That's not. But
I wanted to
got-
throw Tory in there. But he messed that up himself.
Look,
Screwed
Yeah.
up.
my point is
that's
for,
on him. Yeah.
for all of Canada, there are 2 or 3 artists. And then when you look at America, and mind you, a lot of the states have similar population sizes to us.
This
A
is
lot
America
of people are
right now.
taking that in. All of Canada and California have similar populations.
Population. Yep.
That's true. That's true.
And Cali
But
has more.
look
Right?
how many people out of California they can
have a
consider
good
OGs.
point.
I can literally just say E40 and Too Short
Pac.
alone.
MC8.
Alone. And then you start to go down the list of the other artists that we got 2.
Because we have no eras. And the problem was we propped up these two, and one of them, who they claim is the biggest, we don't take seriously. Compared to 2, who do you take
And
more
the
seriously,
issue-
Weeknd or Drake?
Because here's the other thing. Like me and Flex have talked about this a little bit. We have crazy, like someone like Chaos,
Yup.
for example, should be considered like, oh, this is like a legendary Canadian artist. Who talks about him?
Nobody.
No one.
like,
No one.
like
Or what's the name? Kanon? Remember Kanon?
Kanon,
Right?
I remember
Raven
Kanon.
Flag?
Shot Claire.
Like, come on, man. Like we
Claire,
Yes.
Cardinal. Yeah,
Right? We got
Michi
Kabongo
he's the
coming out.
OG. Michi's
Yup.
the OG, low key.
like
Y'all
we
want to
have
know why it's so quiet in here?
melatonin. Yes. The melatonin came.
Shout out.
Yeah. It's either the melatonin or the Ovaltine, bro. Those are the
Telling
two right
you,
there,
man,
bro.
telling you.
I'll put you on
That's
your back.
Oh, the peace.
Oh, shit.
I'm dead. Josh in the chat said, "R.I.P. Canadian drill."
So, hey, that's another problem. Sure, we had our wave of our trap and our drill music, but we platformed that as the only Canadian sound. When most of these guys got locked up, or unfortunately they were RIP.
And that's
So
just
now-
copying the UK.
and it's just copying them. You can make your drill music, make your trap music, but people scoff at people making conscious music here, R&B here. It's
And-
only now where you're seeing a little bit of people actually
little bit.
allowing the Canadian dance hall, the Canadian soca, because now they're bringing in those Caribbean fusions, right? But still, there's no major support. And the only guy, unfortunately, that could give you that support is going to have you ghostwrite his next 5 albums if he signs you.
Man,
Facts.
there
Thank
be so
you.
many people down here in San Antonio, Texas, that's over here like, oh, you're Caribbean? I'm like, yeah, I'm Caribbean as hell. They're like, man, prove it.
Damn.
What?
Damn.
Like what? What are you
Damn.
doing?
Chill.
That's
Like,
just crazy.
I'm like, Flex know what I'm. Yeah, he had to get up.
Oh my
That's
God,
you.
bro. Nah, you caught me off guard
prove
with
it
that
is
one.
wild. Prove it is wild.
Proven
Hey,
is
bro.
crazy. In big 2026, bro. What are we talking
I'm like, I
about?
don't even have to say anything. All I have to do is just do the old.
Listen,
Nah,
Yeah.
I do you one better.
kiss up your teeth, bro. It's, you know?
Boop, boop,
Yo.
You
Don't get
thought
me
me
started.
get blood clot.
Oh my God! Rise, clap.
Hey, bro.
Eh.
Hey, bro. I think at
That's
this point we
crazy.
can wrap up, bro. We've been here for a minute.
3 hours,
Of
man.
course, of course.
Now
3
I
hours,
understand how Justin Hunt feel, cause this ain't easy, man.
This is great. Yeah.
Mhm,
Shout out to Justin
mhm.
Hunt.
Listen,
Crazy.
anytime,
Convo.
anytime I can, I will.
Yeah, bro. Hey, we got the group chat set up with all the creators, bro. Mind
Good,
you,
we're good.
anybody out there that think there's somebody that is good to match and vibe with us, please bring them here. Show them the way.
One of the
We try to
mods,
collab with
make sure,
everybody. As long
make
as
sure
you
you
can hold
drop
a
the Discord.
conversation, we ain't got no problems.
Make sure you drop the Discord so that we can go ahead and
Stay
see if
tight.
you're worthy or not.
Yeah, that
Right.
part.
Right.
Holy, but man, guys, this has been the culture group or the consumer group chat. Jesus. Whew, I'm tired.
Copyright, dude.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah,
I'm tired.
when Flex guys, when I start when I get past my subscriber goal, hopefully soon, I'm gonna be rolling out the support is free merch, so
Hey.
that way, y'all gonna get some on me. I got y'all on that.
Hey.
Got
For all
out.
the creators are gonna get one on me, and then everything else y'all just gotta grab.
Hey, real quick.
Respect.
Yeah, we got you, bro. We gonna
Yo,
support it.
speaking of subscriber goals, once I hit mine, we got a challenge that we got to deal with.
Ooh.
I'm dead.
We got to
I'm dead.
because this challenge does not require one, and does not require two. It does not require three. It
Oh,
requires
Lord.
4. So when
Yo,
we hit
baby food, bro.
5K, I'm gonna say
Baby
There you
this.
go.
When we hit 5K subs, I got 4 of these things I need to control on live.
There you go.
On
You're
That was
good.
my promise. That was
On
my promise.
live.
I intend to
It's in
keep
your
it.
jeans, fam. You'll be good.
Yo, you're good. Yeah, he's good.
What water's your water, bro? It's literally
Oh,
That's
snap.
baby food, fam. We had the Ray and nephew, fam, from 9.
I'm telling you.
Don't get me
Come
started.
on.
But
Telling
yo, it's been real. Shout out to all the creators that was on the panel: J. Tom, Aya, NK, Lightwalker, King Hammer. Bro, this is gonna be monthly. But if there's like anything crazy that happens, we gonna have emergency episodes.
We're gonna have
Mhm.
emergency meetings.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
Facts. Briefings.
We'll be
Right?
ready.
So
Yeah.
consider us the new kids on the block. All right.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So
Remember to keep that ace up your sleeve.
talk about it.
Mhm.
Support is free.
Support is free.
And then the next month is Black History Month, so we gotta come correct.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll host on that one.
Don't worry, bro. I'm gonna bring my Black Panther paraphernalia next
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Trust
They
me.
ain't ready
I'm gonna have a Black Panther suit. It's gonna be over for the
Yeah.
chat. I
Trust
promise.
me.
I promise you. I'm gonna have the kufi. I'm gonna have everything. I'm gonna
Trust
I
have
got the dashiki in there, man. Come on, what are you talking about? We ready?
see. Yeah, no, you know what? I might even do that. I might even do that for a stream.
Telling you.
But yeah, after I hit 500, because I'm still in the 200s right now. After I hit 500, the support is free merch is gonna be dropping.
Hey,
Shout
let's
out.
go.
Shout out.
So, ladies and
Dope.
gentlemen, you're gonna see us soon. Don't worry. We're gonna be around. We all have our own channels that we do our own thing on, so don't get it twisted. All channel links are down below. All right. We'll see y'all next month. You'll probably see me on Monday or Sunday, depending if I can go live or not. But
Respect.
we're gonna be around. So, with that being said, this is the Consumer Group Chat, episode 1. Little shaky, little rocky start, but we're learning. This is an experience that we're all going down the road with
Good.
together,
It was fun.
and it's a
It was
vibe,
fine. Yeah.
right? So, until next time, ladies